Click there and click there. Yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the Cannabis podcast from PercysGrowroom.com. I am Macky from the UK, and joining us this week, we have Margaret.
Hello, everyone. It is Margaret coming at you from Central Ontario, Canada on a lovely spring day. And I'm also the host of your favorite edibles podcast, Bite Me the Show about edibles.
That
Welcome.
is an avatar right there, Margaret. What is that?
I don't know. I was feeling,
Feeling golden?
yes, that's right. Feeling golden. And I
That's good.
was thinking again, once again, of my beloved Turkish Delight.
Where is it? I don't see any Turkish Delight in that picture.
Well, you gotta use your imagination. Come on, it's
Oh,
a
oh.
lion with feathers in its mane or whatever. So,
I would say it was
you
more
know.
Indian, right? Looks more Indian.
I have another one that looks more Turkish delightish, but
Okay, yeah. That one's cool too. You know, a gold lioness. It's not a lioness
yeah,
there, Nicholas Haggy in the chat. It's got a
it,
mane.
it is a lioness in my
So-
mind.
Oh, it
So
identifies as a lioness. Who are
yes,
we to argue, you know?
yes.
No, but that's it. It's just me and Margaret today, everybody. Billy is busy doing some shit. He'll be back next week. And Johnny's also busy doing some shit. I'm sure he'll be back next week as well. But yeah, hope you both have a lovely day doing whatever it is you're doing. I went to see Billy today, like in real life.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was in my
Oh,
city, so I went
nice.
went to visit him there. He sorted me just a little bit of weed, a few buds of one of these plants he's grown. Yeah, and I did
Not
just
his
hit it in the
beloved
mighty.
hash.
No, I'm probably going to handle hash nowadays. I'm a bit of a
Oh.
lightweight, you know. What was that you opened there? What was that?
Well, I just outed myself. I do have a lovely infused lemonade this afternoon. So
Ooh,
I was just cracking it open right now.
beautiful, beautiful. What kind of percentage is something like that?
This one, well, I mean, in Canada, they can only be up to 10 milligrams anyway.
All right,
So it's 10 milligrams.
is that enough? Yeah, it's enough, right?
Yeah. Yeah, actually. I don't
I
know
would
what
think
it is.
so.
A 10 milligram edible, if I used to eat it, I wouldn't feel anything, but I feel it with the drinks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe it just gets broken down or absorbed faster.
It's that nano emulsion.
Oh, you'll say complicated words now. Is that
The
some
nano
kind of paint
emulsion.
with the robots in it?
Yeah,
I
that's
thought so.
exactly what it
Thought
is.
so. It sounded
Nailed
familiar.
it.
Yes. Yes. It's a lioness with a wig, says Levi's jeans. Yeah, so here we are. We got 5 news stories to be covering today, everybody. We got just seeing this crazy stuff coming out of the UK here. Man, I don't even want to go on a rant before we get to the news, but it just frustrates me how fucking ridiculous this shit is, right? Because there's some scaremongering going on in the UK right now, as there always is. But this headline, why? Listen to this headline, everybody. Brace yourselves, right? Why Shatter Cannabis poses a triple threat as a deadly new breed of weed. It says so. Let me go again. Look. Why Shatter Cannabis poses a triple threat as a deadly new breed of weed. What the actual fuck is this person talking about?
I think we're gonna find out.
Oh my god. And then we have a follow up about we spoke about that guy who was making Shatter, and that's part of the scaremongering thing. But he was making Shatter with the butane, blew up the house, killed the kid next door, and that fucking story. We're doing a follow up on that one because the guy who caused the explosion got sentenced. So we're going to be talking about that in a little bit as well. Yeah, there's crazy shit going on in London as well, specifically London. I'm sure it goes on in other cities around the UK. But the online drug trade behind QR code stickers plastered on streets across the UK. Yeah, so them QR codes. Do you have QR
Yeah,
codes for Bite Me and all that shit, Margaret? You know that kind of thing. People take
yeah,
a
we have
picture of it,
QR
goes to
code.
your website. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, but there's those around the UK where you can just take a picture of it and it tells you who the nearest weed dealer is, and they'll come and deliver to you or some shit like that.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah, handy but illegal, you know.
Still very convenient.
Yeah, and I'm sure we reported on something similar to this in the past, where people were putting their own stickers over the QR code of the dealer, so they was just getting dodgy sites pop up on your phone and shit.
No, yeah, that's not
Dodgy,
great.
yeah. We got this next one here as well. A marijuana tax is now funding $750 no strings attached monthly payments to families in New Mexico. Weird.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. American basketball player could face a firing squad in Indonesia after allegedly trying to smuggle cannabis candy. Oh my god! Yeah, what was the name of that chick who got locked up in Russia? Who was that one?
Oh, was it Andrea?
No, I don't know. Ring a bell.
Gaines? Gaines?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Come on, somebody in the
Oh,
chat,
somebody in the chat.
remind us. You're gonna know. You're gonna know. What's the name of that chick?
She had like the CBD vape pen or whatever, right?
I don't know.
She was the basketball player in
Brittany Griner.
Brittany
Is that the one?
Griner.
That was the one. Yeah, thank you there, Viking. Yeah, that chick. You think it was her? You know? She's trying to look again. Just doing anything, wants a permanent holiday in any of these countries.
Right. I don't think anybody wants that kind of holiday in any of those countries.
Yeah, for sure. And Singapore as well. Listen, have you ever seen a movie called Midnight Express?
I believe I have.
Yeah, the guy gets caught with loads of hash on him, gets sent to prison for fucking ages. Was that in Singapore? What prison was he
I
in?
remember. It was in one of those Asian countries that are
Yeah.
very strict, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
Wasn't
Singapore.
Thailand even pretty strict for a long time?
Yeah, but they're not
Before
anymore.
Yeah.
He wasn't Morocco, was it? He had Moroccan hash, right? Nah, was it Turkey?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I mean, that
Yeah.
movie came out when?
It's before I was born. So, a long time ago.
The synopsis says he's sent to a Turkish prison.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, it's an
Yeah.
Oliver Stone movie. Maybe
really?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, right, yeah. It's been so long, probably, that you would forget seeing it. But then when you're watching it, you're like, this seems familiar. You know?
It does have 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Good movie, man. Good movie.
Yeah.
If anybody don't know what we're talking about, then you need to go watch that movie because it's good. And also, just for the grow guides there, we're carrying on with the series. We've got one more here. I don't think we do any more after this. We'll see what we think about next week, if there's anything needs covering. But we're talking about how to make your own organic nutrients at home. We're going to be talking about like compost teas. We're going to be making some K&F stuff, some lactobacillus, some jardam, some fermented fish juice, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be explaining that and how you can make your own organic nutrients at home. Nice and easy. Yeah. So you want to tell everybody what happened last week, Margaret, why you wasn't here?
Well,
them.
I was
Tell
invited to a concert. It was Mother's Day too, actually, last week.
Indeed. We did
Yeah.
say Happy Mother's Day, but you wasn't here to hear it, of course.
Aw, thanks. And my daughter invited me to a concert. So we got together and we drove an hour to the venue and we parked and we go up to the front doors and they're locked. And it was at that moment that my daughter realized she had the wrong date.
That's not the saying. And it was at that moment she knew she fucked up. That's the saying.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So we ended up, just going out for something to eat and whatever instead. And
That's cool, though. I think that would have been better, Maybe
Yeah,
that's what she
no, it's still
intended the
fun.
whole time,
maybe it was.
Yeah. But yeah, man. It's nice to get out still,
Yeah.
And is the weather looking much nicer now?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, not today, but
All right.
today was a little on the cooler side, but it has been really nice.
Nice.
Like I'm probably gonna put my plants outside tomorrow.
Sweet. How big are they now? They're doing well?
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. Yeah.
Sweet.
One of them's probably still a little bit too small to put out, but the rest of them should be pretty good. Because I just worry
Awesome.
if they're too small, then they'll get run over by a lawnmower, and that would
Mm.
not
You
be
just planted
good.
them straight into the ground then?
That's the plan. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and when they're in the ground like that, they can be got by slugs and birds, deers, all sorts of fucking things, man.
I don't have a lot of deer here, so that's good. Bugs don't, or I should say the birds don't seem to bother them either.
Rabbits. You have rabbits?
Yes, but I've never had issues with the rabbits and the weed either,
Okay.
thankfully.
Just in case. Yeah, that's all good. It's just something to think about, just in case,
Yeah,
Little
because I do
bastards.
like I do like seeing the rabbits, but if they start eating my plants, then I will get out the BB gun.
Mm-hmm. Get out of here, little fucker! You pesky rabbits!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good times, good TV. Anyway, should we do some news then? Are you ready to get involved with this madness?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go for some ridiculous shit. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done that, everybody. That'd be cool. Right, so I'm going to put this thing on the screen so you can see. Here we go. This title again. Let's talk about this title to start with. Why, and this is in quotes, Shatter Cannabis, close quotes, possesses a triple threat as a deadly new breed of weed. So many things wrong with that. You know, it's like deadly. Well, maybe the explosions from people extracting shatter incorrectly. That's deadly, but it's nothing to do with the cannabis. It's to do with the stupid method that people are fucking making it with, you know? And then
Yes.
breed of weed. One, it's not a breed of weed. It's an extract of cannabis. So what do they mean breed? What ridiculous. And then say it's weed. I mean, it's not really weed, is it? It's weed extract.
This is definitely very clickbaity.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is on itvx.com, by the way, everybody. Yeah, fucking hell, another stupid news
Sounds
organization.
legit.
Yeah, they are definitely legit. So listen to this ridiculous shit. Highly potent, dangerous to deal, and extremely explosive. Greg Easteel explains how Shatter possesses a triple threat as a deadly new breed of cannabis. Oh my god. Lock up your children, everybody. There's a new strain of cannabis out there. The newly released footage of little Archie York's Newcastle home being blown apart last October looks like the kind of images you associate with black and white shots of a military missile strike. It's almost beyond comprehension to imagine exactly what it was like, although Archie's mother, Catherine Errington, has somehow bravely managed to relive that night in an interview with me for ITV News. I knew deep down, Mum relives that. Yeah, okay, you can read that article over there, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. She describes hearing a screaming sound before being thrown up into the air and back down again, and closing her eyes as she lay in the wreckage because she thought it would be less painful to die in her sleep. Damn. Yeah, and obviously, there's something like that is going to be majorly traumatic. Somehow she survived
Yeah.
along with her. Yeah, it's not even worth thinking about, is it? Somehow she survived along with her partner and her 7-week-old baby, but 7-year-old Archie didn't. Yeah, their child was killed in the explosion.
Oh.
Just shocking, man. We've reported it a couple of times on the show now. Just as the case moves forward, we've kept people updated with the news here. After the final embers went out at the fire, though, questions around what caused it only grew and grew. A gas leak was mentioned, then talk of a cannabis farm. Perhaps electrics used for heat lamps to grow weed was the cause. I remember speculating to colleagues in the newsroom. I couldn't have been more wrong. Well, you're kind of right. It was to do with cannabis in some way. It just wasn't the lights. Anyway,
Yeah.
and this, let me just say, it says here, look, I remember speculating to colleagues in the newsroom. Now, if you remember when we were reported on this, when it first happened, and it said in the news article, because I can remember saying specifically, it says at the bottom here, please ask people not to speculate until they know more. And we were speculating on it. So I'm like, yeah, we shouldn't really be speculating on it, apparently. And now we got this guy here. I remember speculating to colleagues in the newsroom. You were told not to do that, bro. Gosh.
Right.
Gosh. Over the last 5 months of an investigation for ITV News, a new word from the criminal underworld that explains what happened has been added to my everyday vocabulary. Uses this word every day now, he does, everybody. As I suspect will be added to many of ours. That word is. Play that.
Shatter.
Shatter. So what the fuck, really, bro? I mean, this is already tragic enough, right? You know, a young child killed here, 7-year-old kid killed, And you still gotta fucking have hyperbole and exaggerate everything like this? It's ridiculous, man. Is it not bad enough? You just gotta hype it up even fucking more for no reason? This guy should be ashamed of himself. He's a terrible reporter. I'm just saying that, all right?
I would agree, because honestly, like, he's saying here Shatter's the street word for shatter cannabis. Like, I can't go and buy it at a store right now if I wanted to.
Ridiculous, isn't it? It's like he has no idea what he's talking
No,
about.
no.
Yeah, as Margaret said there, shatter is the street word for shatter cannabis, a derivative of the cannabis weed that can be homemade using a few small bits of more more specialized kits, along with another deadly, easy to purchase ingredient, butane gas canisters. And yeah, just to highlight, that is the first bit of truth that is mentioned in this article, I think.
Right.
Yeah, you can definitely get butane gas canisters, which obviously, as we can see, are very deadly. But you can't have cannabis. No, can't have cannabis. That's crazy talk. Those cans, just like the ones you use for a camping stove or outdoor heaters, were found at the scene in Benwell in Newcastle, blown apart last October. A police investigation revealed Reece Galbraith and Jason Laws, who was killed in the blast, had been running a so-called Shatter lab in the flat below Archie's family home. Our investigation revealed Shatter is readily available on the northeast streets. No, it isn't. No, it isn't, bro. You lie again. Casually consumed, but with mounting ignorance about the threats it possesses. Undercover, we spoke to a dealer who told us without a hint of worry what he charges for Shatter. Around 70 or 80 quid for a standard wrap. That's probably 4 gram. And that he has no fear of being caught by the police. And that the dealer's Shatter market is growing for good reason. And if you see on the screen there, everybody, that's a picture of the devastation caused by this explosion.
That does look like a pretty bad explosion.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, it's wiped out. Was
Yeah.
it 3 properties at least there? Damage to the first and the fourth
Yeah.
one as well? Fucking
What
crazy,
were
man.
they doing? I mean, I will agree that you shouldn't probably be making shatter in your kitchen.
No, definitely not. You know, it's just a bad idea. There's better
Yeah.
extracts you can make for far safer, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
It's ridiculous, man. But these guys did it, and obviously there was a spark or something that ignited all the flames. His friend died. One of the guys survived, but, you know, the friend died, the little kid died, and just tragedy all round for numerous families. First of all, Shatter gives you a much stronger high than regular cannabis because the butane gas process draws out pure THC from the cannabis leaf. God, this doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Oh, God. This guy, I mean, I've seen articles in the past. We all have, everybody. We follow the news every week. And we've all seen news articles in the past where the person reporting has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to cannabis. This guy, what's the say? Takes the biscuit. Let's say that. Right? That's the right way to say it, Margaret? Was it takes the cake? Is that one?
Takes the cake, yeah.
Takes the cake.
Yeah.
That's right. This guy actually has no fucking idea what he's talking about. Just 2 drops of Shatter oil, also known as butane honey oil, well, I don't got that right, give you the same high reportedly as a whole joint. But Shatter's almost more adaptable for sale than regular cannabis. Liquefied, it can be easily added into a homemade products like lollipops, gummies, vapes, and chewing gum. Odorless, less harmful sounding alternatives that have a big appeal, especially among young adults like students. We spoke to one who, again, casually, without care, told us that they just eat the gummies and chill with their mates, and their university doesn't care as long as they don't smell. Which is a good point. When it comes to edibles and shit like that, you know, it's nothing like smoking a joint, is it? You just stink the whole place out just for carrying a half-smoked joint. Never mind smoking it.
Yeah.
But no matter how you take your Shatter, you should care. What does that even mean? Fuck, you know. You should care because this extra potency version of weed we learned possesses a significantly higher risk to your health. A professor of addiction in the University of York, Ian Hamilton, put it, it's like the difference between cider and pure alcohol. The risks of dangerous psychosis, he said, is considerably higher than regular cannabis. You should also care because the sweet treats with a kicker and other Shatter products all go back to serious and organized crime and all other violent nastiness that goes with it. This guy's good with his vocabulary. And you should also care because, unlike almost any other drug on sale on your back streets and online, the manufacturer of Shatter itself possesses a deadly risk, just as Archie's mother knows. Just invoking the kid like that, shameful. Shatter, then, if you don't know before, is a triple threat, and whether you're buying it, making it, selling it, or unknowingly just living next door to it, this new age drug possesses big questions about how best to deal with the new age cannabis trade. I got the answer for you. You ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Fucking regulate and legalize it so you don't have dickheads making it in a fucking kitchen in a flat where it blows up and kills people. If it was an actual factory where people are actually licensed to do this shit so they know what they're doing, this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
And this will happen again. It's happened many times. Places get blown up because dickheads are making Shatter and they're not taking the correct precautions. And people will lose their lives again. And of course, the people who are trying to make this butane hash oil, this BHO, they are to blame for their actions. But the government also need to play their part, man. They need to take responsibility for the fact that there is no legalization in the UK. So this is why we have these fools doing these things and putting themselves and other people at risk. If it was legalized and regulated for the safety of the consumer, just like everything else here in the UK, they make sure the tomatoes are safe. They make sure the chicken is safe. But when it comes to weed, you can fuck off. You're on your own.
Right.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And if they just properly legalized and regulated, we wouldn't be seeing this. I'm sure there'll be some fools out there trying to do it, but it'll reduce the amount of these cases we see by tenfold, in my estimation, at least. I mean, do you see any of these, Margaret? Sorry, you were saying?
No, not anymore. I mean, maybe they still exist, but no. There was an explosion in my town like 20 years ago or whatever. Some guy was trying to make some kind of Shatter butane honey oil or something like that and blew up his townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really hear about that too much now.
Yeah, because legalizing it prevents this shit.
Well, and also if you're super into it, you could also get like a rosin press and then eliminate the need to have flammable gases in your house.
Absolutely. It's like
I
just don't know why people would even take this route now, to buy all the butane and shit. Just get a good press and make rosin, and there's no solvents involved, and it's all clean, but
right. And there's no shortage of videos on how to make hash online.
Exactly.
As well. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's no excuse. And this guy here, I just want to fucking scroll back up to the top here. I want to find out this guy's name because
the reporter.
Yeah, this was terrible.
And I use that.
Greg Eastall, news correspondent at ITV News. I might email this guy and be like, bro, what the fuck was this?
Right.
And just break it down for him in little sections. Like, bro, wrong here, wrong here. Does he even care? That's the thing. I take my time to do that and then email him. This guy don't care. If he cared, he would have taken 5 minutes to figure out what actually was going on. He would report it accurately. You know what I mean? This guy don't give a shit. Yeah. He's not trying to inform us.
He's probably just trying to pump out as many articles as he can because he gets paid per word or some shit.
It looks like a dickhead. Look at his serious face here, everybody. Look at him.
News correspondent.
Okay, a news correspondent. Jesus, bro.
Thanks for that insightful piece, Greg.
Yes. You've saved us all. Thank you. Keep up the good work. But just to follow on from that story, just get this one quickly done as well, is the other side of the coin here. A drug dealer who killed boy 7 in explosion jailed. So there's Archie, the boy who was killed on the screen there, and the house, the numerous houses / flats that had been blown up. And here we go. A man whose illegal cannabis factory exploded in a block of flats, killing 7-year-old Archie York, has been jailed for 14 years. Archie died when the blast caused by Reece Galbraith, 33, obliterated several homes in Benwell in the early hours of the 16th of October 2024, Newcastle Crown Court heard. The fatal explosion was caused by a buildup of butane created in the process of making drug-infused sweets in one of the flats by Jason Laws, 35, who was also killed. and Galbraith. His friend was killed, but obviously Galbraith survived because he's just been sent down for 14 years. He admitted to 2 counts of manslaughter, with Archie's mother screaming at him in the court that he killed her son. Mr. Laws and Galbraith were using a ground floor flat in a block of 12 homes on Violet Close to make so-called cannabis shatter. Your deadly cannabis shatter. Prosecutor David Brooke KC said. About 0:40 in the morning, like just after midnight, 40 minutes after midnight, their sophisticated, obviously not sophisticated enough, factory exploded, killing Archie, who lived upstairs with his parents and baby brother, and totally destroyed 6 homes, the court heard.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And there was obviously other people in there as well. How many people did this actually affect, man? It's shocking. Archie's mother, Catherine Errington, and 7-week-old brother, Finley, were buried beneath bricks and debris, the pair having to be dug out and pulled to safety by his father, Robbie York, the court heard. Fucking hell. There was then a fierce fire, and the block ultimately had to be demolished, with dozens of people losing their homes and treasured possessions, Mr. Brooks said. Archie had been asleep in his living room when the blast occurred and was killed instantly, while his father, mother, and baby brother all miraculously survived, the court heard. Mr. Brooks said there has also been an enormous impact in the local area, with the damage that cost Newcastle City Council valued at $3.7 million, 81 adults and 59 children from 51 homes displaced, and 10 households having to be permanently rehoused. Miss Errington told the court her son's death broke us in ways I didn't know possible, and the family had lost everything, adding she felt survivor's guilt. You would as well, man. It's just even not worth fucking thinking about. It's just so tragic, man. You're in the same property and your kid gets killed and you survive. Damn. It's going to have an effect for the rest of this woman's life, man. Longer than 14 years. Crazy. In a fury, she angrily told Galbraith he took risks for profit before screaming at him, "You killed my son." "This was your choice," Miss Errington said. "We will never forgive you for what you did to our beautiful boy." The court heard Archie's beloved dog Chaser also being killed in the blast. Jesus. In a statement read to the court, Mr. York said he felt nothing but anger towards Galbraith and Mr. Laws, adding he had no sympathy for the latter's death. "They were making drugs whilst my family slept upstairs, unaware of the danger that was below us." That's fucking crazy. God damn. Scary, man. He said Galbraith and Mr. Law's illegal operation had put multiple children at risk, while their own children slept safely elsewhere, adding, "We worked hard for what we had, and they did nothing but inflict pain and misery on others." Another neighbour who lost her home of 18 years said the men were horrible, selfish, and greedy. One woman said her 7-month-old daughter has been blown across her bedroom and was found beneath a pile of drawers and bricks, with the woman fearing the girl would need medical treatment for the rest of her life. Police found dozens of canisters of liquid butane gas and expensive equipment used to make cannabis shatter, a brittle substance containing high concentration of the psychoactive compound THC, which is used to form sweets in the debris, the court heard. Mr. Brooks said butane was used in the production of highly dangerous and extremely flammable. He said the canisters clearly displayed multiple vivid warnings, which Mr. Laws and Galbraith ignored.
See, I don't get why, if they had like expensive equipment, why would they just want to do something safer? Unless do you get less yield from using a rosin press?
We discussed this with Brian when he was on, when we reported it a few weeks ago. And he was saying something like that. You do get BHO is different. You get more
Like
from it. You
yield?
get a better yield or something like that. But how much of a better yield, really? How much is all the butane costing? How much is all the equipment costing? And now look at what the cost has been ultimately. It's a ridiculous loss for so many families. The boy being killed. There's somebody else's son. I know he was there making this shit. He doesn't deserve death penalty for it, Now somebody's lost their kid as well for that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, again, as I said, these people are responsible for their own actions, man. They have decided this is the way for them. That's what they're going to do. They're going to put all these people at risk. And just like everybody else who does stupid things, like, it's not going to blow up. It's like, but nobody plans to do that shit. It's like you balancing across something. It's all right. I'm not going to fall. Nobody who falls is like, I think I just feel like falling now. It happens accidentally, unexpectedly, and that's what happened in this case here. These guys wasn't expecting it to fucking blow up, but it did. And it's just a warning to anybody who thinks that they're gonna try and do something like this. It's just not fucking worth it, man. It's just not worth it.
Yeah,
Find a different
don't do
way.
it.
You
There's no
know,
reason why that stuff's done in a lab.
absolutely. It's just not worth the risk. You know, just
Yeah.
think of the things that can happen from the after effects of this. Listen to this story here. You know, I hate to scaremonger people and shit because that's not what we're about. But this is legitimately dangerous. You
But
know.
again, there's lots of ways to make concentrates without, putting an entire block at risk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
So,
get a fucking rosin press and squish it instead. No solvents, no
exactly.
danger. It's
Yeah.
roll like that, man. And yeah, it might be a little bit of a less yield, but god damn, it's so much safer. Got to
We're
balance
splitting
out
the
that
hairs at that
gamble.
point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Such a shame. Such a shame.
Yeah.
Big loss to the whole family here, and of course, just everybody affected. Just so fucking sad. So sad.
Hmm.
Don't do it, everybody. Don't make shatter. Just don't. Just leave it to the professionals. You can have this shit imported now, and it's far less risk. Try that instead. Damn.
Right.
Right. I don't know. Do we have some good news, Margaret? Can you give us some good news?
Well, perhaps this Business Insider article that I have could be a bit of good news, I guess, depending on how
Oh,
you look at it. I thought it was interesting.
let's go.
So
Let's see what
let's go with
happens.
that one. So it's putting money in people's pockets instead of blowing people up. So that's got to be a little bit better. But
Depends who
a
you ask.
cannabis tax.
You
What's
know,
that?
it depends who you ask. Those warmongers, they love blowing people up.
True. A cannabis tax is now funding $750 no strings attached monthly payments to families in New Mexico. So, tax revenue on the sale of recreational cannabis has become a major source of income for states where it's legal. New Mexico is now redistributing that money to communities it says need it the most. Some families in Albuquerque, New Mexico started receiving monthly no strings attached payments this month as part of a new basic income project funded in part by tax revenue from recreational cannabis sales. The first city approved, the city first approved the 4.02 million basic income plan in March. City revenue from marijuana sales is contributing more than 2 million to that total, according to a city press release.
Wow.
The program is providing the $750 monthly payments to 80 families in two districts where students struggle with low academic performance. The city will also offer financial counseling to the families. Albuquerque is not the first city in America to experiment with guaranteed basic income programs, which usually target vulnerable low income populations like new moms, Black women, or trans people. Guaranteed basic income programs are different than a universal basic income, which would provide monthly support to an entire population regardless of status. Advocates for a basic income say it helps people in different financial situations find their footing. Basic income studies often show positive results. Recipients say it improves their housing security and mental health and even allows them to seek better jobs through education and more time to search. It is not, however, without its critics. Lawmakers in South Dakota, Iowa, and Idaho have passed laws banning basic income programs at the city and county level. They say the payments are akin to socialism and discourage recipients from working. And I'll just add here myself that yes, because $750 is going to keep someone from getting a job.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
madness, isn't it? And akin to socialism, sure, but there's some aspects of socialism that we have to adjust to, bring into the economy as AI starts to take over.
yeah,
I am definitely not some socialist, you know,
yeah.
but
Yeah, but
this shit,
$750 isn't going to keep anybody from like looking for a job because no one can live on $750 a month.
yeah, that's right.
It's just not the world we live in. But city
Hmm.
officials in Albuquerque said that the press release that their basic income program is meant to help though close the wealth gap. The city says it prioritizes recipients who are negatively impacted by the criminalization of cannabis, such as Black, Native American, Asian, and Pacific Islanders, women, and low-income families. This program puts money where it's needed most, into the hands of struggling families working to build a better future. Mayor Tim Keller said in a statement, Albuquerque is a city that will always fight to correct injustices and will push to help families get the tools they need to succeed with dignity. City Councilor Clarissa Pena, who leads the city's Cannabis Equity and Community Reinvestment Fund, said in a statement that the program must show clear implementation strategies and measurable outcomes. This isn't just about allocating dollars, it's about delivering tangible benefits to the communities disproportionately impacted by past injustices, she said. We owe them more than good intentions, we owe them results. Anya told BI that the program, or like BI Business Insider, isn't isn't simply providing basic income. Though these and many other measures, along with the basic income assistance, our community will reap long-term public health benefits, reduction in addiction rates, and taxpayer savings, she said in an email.
Hmm.
And that's the scoop on that. Thoughts?
Wow. There's so much to go into there. I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's not going out to everybody just yet. But universal basic income is it's a controversial topic, really. Because though you can agree with it in premise that if you give people the money they need, the basics, to make sure everything's covered, it's definitely going to have a reduction in crime and poverty. But
Yeah.
as a result, what kind of effect does that have on the economy? You
Well,
know,
I think if people have more money and they have time to, look for better jobs, get better jobs, maybe, you know, work their lives so that it's
hmm
better for them,
yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
all positive.
Yeah, they have time to go to school, study
Yeah,
things, and get a job which they actually enjoy, which is going to be good all round. But
yeah,
it's like I've seen arguments against this before, where it's like because there's so many people getting this money for free, it loses value, kind of, and because you haven't worked for it, you don't have the same respect for it. So.
right.
And
I don't
not
know
like
if
I agree with
I,
that. I can understand the position
yeah,
about those
because I
people are
think
coming
most of
from.
the people who are getting it usually have to work pretty hard to make ends meet as it is.
Hmm
And if you're giving them some extra money that can help, with some of those extra costs, I mean, most people who are struggling these days are living paycheck to paycheck.
hmm
So
Yeah.
I think a lot of us could probably appreciate that.
Yeah. But then, yeah, somebody brought up Levi's jeans in the chat there. Says the problem is they will become dependent upon it. And that's a scary aspect as well. Because if you have the whole population eventually on some kind of basic universal income, and the
Hmm.
government's just like, oh, no, you can't say that, we'll cut your money,
Right.
And
Well, yeah, if you
then,
have corrupt governments, sure.
hmm which we've
Yeah.
all seen, which you've all seen.
Yeah. Hmm.
So and that's the main problem with everything. I think just corrupt government. It just fucks with everything so much.
Hmm.
But we'll see what happens here. You're going to see what happens when these people get the money. How it turns out. I think I've seen these kind of things been implemented in other states before, and it turned out pretty well.
Right.
But
Yeah, I think a lot of the pilot projects they've done pilot projects here in Ontario around it too, and it's worked out
mhm,
really well as well.
yeah,
And they're taking like tax revenue from cannabis sales to help people who've been impacted by like
yeah, the bullshit laws.
injustices
Yeah,
from cannabis. So
hmm
it's kind of like helping the people who need it the most.
yeah,
I mean,
and
they
of
could do a lot
course,
of other not good things with the tax money. I don't know.
hmm hmm
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. And of course, if we see another story like this further down the line and see some results from this, we'll be letting you know. I'm sure we will see news
Yeah.
stories related to this as it comes up. Yeah, interesting one for sure, and it's a much bigger topic than just cannabis. This one, it goes into the whole universal basic income thing, which is
Hmm.
interesting discussion to have as well. I'm definitely on the fence about it. Can see the good side and the bad side of it. You just have to see what
Yeah.
happens with the study.
I mean, in the world we're living in right now, I can see more of a need for it
Oh
than
yeah,
ever.
and the world we'll be living in 10 years' time, there's definitely
Exactly.
got a need for it. There's whether we like it or not, we're gonna have AI and automation take over more than we can even realize over the next 10 years, and
Well,
there's
think
gonna
of
be
all the
lots of people
things
with no
that AI
jobs.
has been implemented into already.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
now, it seems like
so
every piece
quickly.
of software you have is just like, here's an
Mm-hmm.
AI assistant with it, and you're like, do I really
Mm-hmm.
need
Yes, you do.
this? I don't know if I do. I don't know. I don't know if I do.
Man, I love my AI. I love ChatGPT. We talk every day. We're best of friends, me and ChatGPT.
I
God
mean,
damn.
I use AI as well, but I like to think I have a healthy skepticism of it too, because the AI data centers are horrible and the people at the top, they're billionaires. They're going to make a lot of money out of it. For what? What's it
Mm-hmm.
actually doing for the rest of us?
But it does
Making us
everything for
dumber.
us.
It's going to make us
Um,
dumber.
it makes certain people dumber, but people who use it as a tool, it just makes them more efficient. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it could.
But yeah, maybe like it will make us dumber in the future. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because we don't need to
idiocracy.
think. Yeah.
It's maybe not that far off. Who knows?
Maybe we're already living in it. We just don't know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So interesting. Let us know what you think about that one in the comments, everybody. What's your thoughts on universal basic income?
I guess the question
And
is, would you take 750 no strings attached dollars a month from your
mm,
cannabis tax revenues from your
what's that
local
old
municipal
saying?
government?
There's no such thing as a free lunch. Somebody's paying for that.
Well, of course, anybody who's buying weed is
Hmm.
paying for it. That's
Yeah.
where the tax revenue is coming from.
So couldn't you
So,
just reduce the tax revenue instead?
well, that's what they're using.
Yeah, but if they reduce it, weed is cheaper for those who want to buy it.
Maybe they've got the
We
taxes
just
on
have
it
to live in a shit
regardless.
society.
They're just deciding
Yeah.
what they're going to do with the money, and they're being like
Hmm.
'cause other places like if you go to Colorado, what are they using the cannabis tax revenue for? Does anybody know?
No, don't trust them with it, regardless.
Or they're using it for something, we just don't know
Yeah,
what.
that's right. They don't tell us. They're using it to line their pockets. That's what they're doing. They don't get spent on the roads and the schools. Some of it will, just to keep people happy enough. But it seems like there's a big chunk that doesn't get spent in the way we want it to be spent. You know.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, that's another rant we can go into.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So let's go on to this next one here. There's some more shit going on in the UK. The online drug trade behind QR code stickers plastered on streets across the UK. And we reported on this at some point, not too long back. I can't remember how long ago. Sky News investigation has uncovered the complex gang network running a brazen cannabis home delivery operation. And that's it. You know, how brazen have you got to be? Because it's illegal here in
Yeah.
the UK, but people just putting up these QR codes. Take it. What's stopping the old Bill from sticking a fucking QR code up? You know what I
Nothing.
mean?
Although I mean, if you saw a QR code on like a telephone pole, would you be tempted to scan it? That's
I'd be tempted.
I don't know if I would be. I'd be like, what in the virus is this?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's what I'd be wondering.
Oh, you know, you click it, you see command prompt open on your phone. You're like, oh
Yeah, you're like,
god,
ah,
oh
fuck.
fuck.
Not good. Not good. Abort mission, but
Yeah.
too late by then.
But if it says free weed, would you be more
Yeah.
more skeptical, or would you be more likely to give it a go?
The temptation would definitely be higher.
You know, this is like the modern generation, the modern generation's you know, free candy on the side of a van. You know.
Yeah.
Right, we got Steve spotted the eye-catching stickers while walking to the shops in Burton upon Trent. Plastered on bins and lampposts, they featured a shiny green cannabis leaf with a QR code and the words "Get your delivery." Former prison officer who is in his 50s wanted to try the Class B drug as an alternative to prescribed opioids to ease the pain after breaking his knee in 3 places. Breaking his back in 3 places, sorry. And this is what I bought this article here, is because, again, like the last one, the problem wasn't the cannabis. The problem was the fact that cannabis is illegal. And you got dickheads trying to make shatter in stupid conditions. But the same thing here. So what's the problem here? The QR codes or the fact that this guy couldn't get access to cannabis that he wanted as pain relief? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So if he had access to it, these QR codes would not be there because people could just go and get cannabis from a legal, legitimate provider. But you motherfuckers won't allow it, so people have to resort to this stupid shit. So who's putting people at risk here? These cannabis laws are just, they're not doing anybody any fucking favors. Well, apart from the criminals who are in charge of the market. You know, it's not protecting anybody. It's not making the kids safe. Because kids can just go out and buy weed if they want it. They don't need to show ID.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a fuck. I mean, it's like, what are they playing at, man? After all this time, they don't see. Anyway, I'm going to keep going through the article here. He had only recently moved to the Staffordshire market town and was reluctant to buy off the streets. I didn't just want to tap some roadman, he says, because we have them here in the UK. But this is it's a regular problem when somebody moves town. You know, if you're in the town you've grown up in and you got all your friends that you knew when you was a kid, you know people who sell weed. They know people. You can go through your contacts. You'll find somebody. If you move to a completely new town or new country, have no friends, have no connections, how you finding cannabis? You know what I mean? You can't, can you?
Yeah.
You
I
have
can
to
see
go.
why the sticker would be attractive because I don't think I'd want to. What do they mean when they say you tap up some roadman? Just like some guy on the street?
It's one of them youth, fam. One of them youth. And they use all that fancy lingo. You know, roadman, fam. Blah, blah. That kind of shit.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either myself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What up, fam? And
Yeah.
they have special words for weed and shit. You know what I'm saying, everybody? I don't want to keep fucking talking like a roadman, fam. You know, they walk around with their hands. You know, the guys have got their hands down their trousers because they want to make sure their penis is still attached or something. I don't know the mentality behind it. Yeah, and they just walk around. Looks like they got a bad leg in the way they walk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, do they have like the hoodie up too?
Yeah. Sometimes they'll have a mask around their face.
There is a guy, I think he might be what you call roadman that I follow on TikTok, and I like his videos because it always shows him like walking past somebody and they like bump into him. He's like, "Do you got a problem?"
Yeah.
And then the guy will be like, "Yeah, I do." And then the next scene is them like, "So what you need to do is you have to like start your car," and like they're actually like solving a problem. They make
But
me
you've
laugh.
seen Trailer Park Boys, right?
Of course.
Well, you see, you know,
Would I be
what's his name? Is
Canadian
it?
if I wasn't?
It's C-Rock, isn't it? J-Rock?
J-Rock.
Yeah, J-Rock. He's
Yeah.
pretty much a roadman, but he's in
Right.
Canada instead of the UK. Same kind of thing. You know,
Yeah,
just
okay.
people acting like fucking knobs. And you wouldn't want to call them up. And when you go into the roadman as well, it's a lot riskier. They're probably carrying a knife, a big knife at that. They don't really give a fuck. Yeah, and you'll get ripped off. They might just rob you and take your shit. You know, we're talking about roadmen here. These ain't ordinary people. You know,
Yeah,
so
this is like, what is this, an ex-cop? Oh, former prison officer.
yeah, former prison officer. So
I guess
oh,
if anybody's gonna
I
tap
know
up a
you,
roadman,
Officer
yeah,
Jeffries, fam. I'm gonna wet you up, fam. I'll wet you up. You know?
yeah, that's the end of that transaction.
Yeah, there we go. And you still
Yeah.
get your money taken. You know, get your hat, shoes, and your coat taken. That's how it goes. Yeah, fucking crazy. You want to try and avoid these people at all costs. And of course, again, the only reason why this guy has to go, because he's an adult, he's using his own money. You know, he's earned this money. He can spend it on whatever the fuck he wants. So he wants to go get some cannabis to help with some pain because he doesn't want to take these poisonous opioids. So he wants to get some cannabis. Where does he go?
He goes
you,
to
mate.
this actually fancy looking sticker. Now that I actually see the sticker, I might scan on that QR code.
It's further down here. We'll have a look in a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I digress. Let's go back against the roadman talk here. Using his smartphone camera, he was taken to a slick, colourful site on the open web offering a wide range of cannabis products. He's starting to advertise it for me. From vapes to tinctures to pre-rolled joints, buds, and gummies. You know what I mean? Click here now. Don't scan it if it's on the screen, everybody. Oh yeah, they blurred out the actual code. Okay. Just like legitimate online shops, it promised free delivery to arrive the next day and had glowing reviews on Google and Trustpilot. It's
That's
in the
interesting.
UK. You know, how does that even happen?
I don't know. That's
Let me
pretty
ju-
impressive, though.
I don't know if you're all aware, everybody, but this might be the first time you're hearing this, but the war on drugs is over. It's lost. And you know, this is the final battle here. You can just scan somewhere on a lamppost in the middle of London and get cannabis. Just open
And
up the
then you
fucking
can
shops.
read
Come on.
through
Yeah.
all the Trustpilot reviews. And did you notice what they're not selling?
No, what did I send in?
They're not selling Shatter. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
What, have you
At
checked it
least
out? Did you
according-
go to the site there?
No, but
You ordering
know.
something?
Thought I'd try it out. But they're asking a wide range of cannabis products. They didn't mention Shatter. Just
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting.
We got here Steve, not his real name. Fucking, why not? You know, why not at this point? Went on to order products including vapes and herbal cannabis. The first time I was shaking. When the postman came down the path, the package absolutely stank, he
Oh,
says.
not very good at the
Uh,
stealth then.
yeah, that's not cool, but
Yeah.
and the postman, he probably delivers shitloads of it, doesn't even realize. It's letterbox shaped, so you don't get a knock. The postman shoves it through the door, and that's it. Job done. So be careful, everybody, if you have a dog that likes to open the letters for you. Just
All
saying.
right.
Yeah, here's the website. It's showing us the code to the website here unnecessarily. But, similar stickers have been reported across the UK from cities such as Birmingham, Glasgow, and London to smaller towns including Shrewsbury in Shropshire and Droitwich in Worcestershire. There have also been sightings in South Wales. Oh my god. Some have appeared near schools, universities, and police stations. Just blazant. No fucks given. Just stick it on the door of the police station because nothing is gonna get done. God damn. Hidden Gang Network. A Sky News investigation has identified 3 different sticker designs, each of which directs users to separate but linked website, which we are not naming, with their own branding. Hidden in the source code is a long list of bank account and business names which are randomly selected when users make a purchase. Using publicly available tools, we were able to build a network map of the businesses involved, the people behind them, and how they are linked. All are Lithuanian nationals, mostly registered to addresses in small areas of East London, one of which is linked to an alleged gangster found guilty of kidnap and torture in Lithuania. But just come to the UK, it's cool. Royal Mail tracking details also suggest the operation is based in an area as the packages passed through Romford's mail centre. Romford's real nice area. An analysis of Bitcoin wallets carried out by TRN Labs shows one of the sites has received around 109,000 by mid-March, although the true income is likely to be far higher as more buyers use regular bank transfers than cryptocurrency. That's a fucking good point. When we visited a woman who owns 2 of the houses associated with the bank account, she said she has never heard of the website and had no idea of criminal enterprise may have been running from her properties. Of course she has no idea. She also said 3 Lithuanian nationals were identified as being connected with the site had left the UK. As I've said many times, because we have problems with Albanians here in the UK as well, we also have problems with Vietnamese, and when they are caught doing crimes like this, they just leave the country. Done.
Right.
And the UK government ain't going to chase them down and not going to get extradited. Former head of Drug Threat to Intelligence and National Crime Agency, the NCA, Tony Saggers, says the scale of the operation suggests those behind it have access to a wholesale quantities of cannabis, which has probably been grown in the UK. Anybody want to put in the comments and in the chat who it's probably being grown by? Anybody want to take a shot at that? There'll be no prizes for those who guess. Also demonstrates the evolution of online drug markets from the dark web to open websites, making them more accessible to the wider population, he tells Sky News. Ben, not his real name, a student in his early 20s, scanned a QR code sticker out of genuine curiosity after spotting it on a telecoms cabinet near the University of York. Of course, it was just genuine curiosity. What's this sticker with the cannabis leaf on? He never bought or used drugs before, but says he had a moment of free will and the risk of losing money was minimal, so I tried it. Perhaps it's something to do with the website. It's like you are buying a professionally regulated product that has made me worry less. A £10 pre-rolled joint arrived from, not £10, you guys from the USA. It's £10 sterling, not a £10 joint. Fuck. First, arrived by Royal Mail first class in a branded package and looked clean and professional. However, he says he didn't enjoy the smoke. He didn't enjoy smoking it, and for his mental health, hasn't bought any more. Probably smoked a bit too much, but fucking hell. Nearly over here. Russian roulette. Dr. Simon Eridge research. Blah 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 blah. You're boring me now. Fuck off. Yeah, so it's just bullshit, isn't it? It's how you can just go out and order cannabis.
It's funny that you skipped that one thing because this doctor was about to say that Why are you playing Russian roulette when you can just get legally prescribed medical cannabis?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But haven't you said before like 5 people in the UK have access to like medically prescribed
No,
cannabis?
you can go to a private clinic and buy it.
Oh, you can.
But you have to go through like they have to see your doctor's notes and all this shit. It's not just as simple as going to a website and getting
Right.
it. You have to be able to have the prescription. So they want to see your medical records and all this bullshit. And also, it's shit weed, and
Right.
there's a large percentage of people in the UK who still don't know that it's even legal for medical use.
Hmm.
So
Right.
so many issues there. So people
Right.
would just scan it and be like, "Oh, let's see what this can do."
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
you can get your weed quick, or you can jump through 10,000 hoops,
Mm-hmm.
maybe get it, and then it's crap anyway, and you have to pay a lot of money for it.
Mm-hmm. So just
Yeah.
it would be a lot easier for people to just take a picture of the thing. So
Yeah.
as you can see, all these bullshit draconian drug laws that we have here in the UK, under the guise of, oh, we're just keeping you safe from the black market. Come on, man. Can't you see? It's
They
not
didn't. They
obvious
didn't
at this
blur
point.
out. They didn't blur out one of the QR codes further down. Who's gonna scan it?
Should we scan it? Let me get my phone.
Yes.
Hold on, everybody. I'm
Yes.
not going to do it, really. I'm not going to do it.
Get the facts.
Oh, gosh, do I really have to?
Well, that's what the
I
sticker
mean,
says.
it is
Facts.
fucking scannable there.
I mean,
And this.
whether the site's still up or not.
Ah, shit. Wonder if I bet you scan that. I bet you got fucking. Was it Curaleaf for going out there putting their own QR codes over these? Jesus. Shocking, man. Shocking. I think, as I said, the war on drugs is fully lost and they need to
I
accept it.
know. Yeah, why don't
It's.
they just like, even if they don't want to legalize right away, then just decriminalize it so that
Yeah.
people aren't getting records for it.
Hmm.
It will forever impact their lives for
Madness.
something.
And as if, the old Bill just then looking around, scan the code, find out where it come from and then go and arrest the people. But of course, they just disappear back to Lithuania, Albania, Vietnam, whoever's doing it. So.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy too, because like this whole story started out with this like ex-prison guard who broke his back in 3 places, and he's just like, I just don't
Hmm.
want to be popping opioids all the time. And
Which is fair. He's an
which is
adult.
very fair. Yeah. Like whether he gets off opioids completely or he, uses a multi-prong approach to deal with probably pretty debilitating back pain, you
Madness,
know.
man.
Yeah.
But that's the UK, everybody. It never makes any sense. We'll keep our
Right. Makes
fingers
no
crossed that we
sense.
get legalized within the next decade, which is unlikely. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, one more then, Margaret. What do we have here? Deja vu.
What do we have? Oh, the American basketball player.
Yes.
Yes. Let me just get that open here. The American basketball player could face firing squad.
Jesus.
Jesus, in
You
Indonesia.
know.
That's that's brutal. After allegedly trying to smuggle cannabis candy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if firing squad and candy belong in the same sentence, but here we are. An American basketball player could potentially face a firing squad in Indonesia after receiving a package of THC-infused candy from Thailand. Former U.S. college basketball star Jared Dwayne Shaw, 34, from Dallas, Texas, has played in the Indonesian league since 2022. He was arrested May 7th when police raided his apartment in Indonesia.
But
I'm,
you just got to
I'm not,
skip all that.
yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the name of that place, but just outside of the Indonesian capital of Jakarta, they seized 132 pieces of Delta 9 THC cannabis candies, authorities said. Indonesia has extremely strict drug laws with a life
No
sentence
shit.
or death by firing squad possibilities if Shaw is found guilty. Cannabis has been decriminalized in Thailand since 2024, but it's strictly illegal in Indonesia. Officers from the airport police carried out the raid on suspicion that Shaw was smuggling drugs after a package addressed to him arrived from Thailand and was flagged at the airport. Ronald
Damn.
Sipayung from the airport, he was the airport police chief, said Shaw told policemen during an interrogation that he intended to share the cannabis candy with his teammates. Why would he
That's a
say
that's a fucking ridiculous thing to
that?
say.
Don't
Now
talk to cops.
and now he's just gonna get done for supply. You admitted it right there.
Oh, yes, that's why it's been upgraded to firing squad. Because I'm just gonna say it's trafficking,
Wow.
even if he's giving it away. or
No,
consuming. I don't know.
at least they'll be shooting hoops one last time. Is that an inappropriate joke? Should
Oh my God.
you should wait until he gets out
Yes.
of prison before I make jokes like that. Okay.
Yes.
If he gets firing squad, then I'll remove that comment.
Okay. He added that the candy contained a total gross weight of 869 grams of illegal cannabinoid. We are still running the investigation to uncover the international drug network behind this case and to stop its distribution. What he probably bought it legally in Thailand. Anyway, the Associated Press reports that a video circulated on social media purportedly showed Shaw wearing a black t-shirt and shorts, resisting and shouting "help, help" as he was about to be arrested. Shaw did not speak when he was presented by the authorities at a news conference on Wednesday. He was wearing an orange detainee shirt and a mask, and his hands were tied. At the college level in the US, he played for the Oklahoma State and Utah State. Since joining the Indonesian Basketball League in 2022, Shaw has played for several clubs, signing a contract with the Tangerang Hawks last year. Club manager Tiki Suwantinko Tikno, my apologies for that brutal
It was
pronunciation,
beautiful. It was beautiful. Perfect.
told reporters on Thursday that the team regretted Shaw's action and he had immediately been fired as he had breached his contract. Somewhere incongruously, the team's official Instagram account posted a picture of Shaw with the words "Thank you" superimposed.
You're just saying thank you for all the weed he bought to practice last week.
Yeah. I mean, it
Jesus.
goes on for a little bit, but it does say down here there's currently 530 people on death row in Indonesia, mostly for drug-related crimes,
Wow.
including 96 foreigners. The Indonesia's last executions were carried out July 2016 when an Indonesian and 3 Nigerian citizens were put to death for drug crimes. Another 10 were scheduled to be executed, but were given an unexpected reprieve. So they will do it, but damn.
It's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is
Eye
crazy.
opening.
Like it was weed candy too. It's not even not that
Yeah,
really matters,
so
but
this
it just
dickhead at the start of the show who killed 2 people by trying to make Shatter in the kitchen like a fucking idiot gets 14 years. This guy gets firing squad.
right
And
for
he
weed
just,
candies.
yeah, for weekend is like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah. That's a very that's too very those that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just wow, man. Wow. What can you even say? It's
I don't know. I guess honestly you can say what were you thinking when you ordered shit into the country from Thailand? Like
hmm hmm
when you know that the drug laws there are so strict, that maybe wasn't your best move.
not even a little bit strict. Like
Yeah.
not even you'll get 5 years. You know that there's death penalty, and it's just so
Yeah.
stupid as well. It's saying that I was going to share them with my friends. It's like maybe he's sick of being there, can't afford a plane ticket home, so he's making himself a political prisoner. So then he'll get shipped back to the USA in exchange for somebody. Maybe that's his.
That seems like a pretty
Yeah, bit extreme, really, isn't it?
why would anybody do that? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Like
Get locked up in an Indonesian prison? Fucking hell.
will the states intervene at all? Or are they usually just like, well, you do the
Probably.
time, you do
I
the
would say
time?
so. Nah, they should. I mean, they wouldn't want him being put to death for it. They
Yeah, I
stepped
guess
in with
that's
Brittany
true.
Griner and that other
Yeah.
English teacher guy, right? So they have stepped in cases like this, but in other countries. But yeah, I mean, once you're an American citizen, you're an American citizen for life. You have to pay tax for the rest of your life, regardless of what country you're in, if you're an American
Right.
citizen. So, this is what you pay your taxes for. They better fucking go for him. They better get him out.
That is wild. Yeah, I don't know
Hmm.
why he should have just kept his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Because of course he ordered a whole bunch of gummies. You're not going to order like 2 gummies.
Yeah.
You're going to order a bunch so you have them.
But, in those situations, I don't know, man. Getting them posted into you, pretty stupid. But then at the same time, you wouldn't want to bring it home on a plane in your prison pocket either, would you?
No, there's no real good way. You're better off trying to just source it and
That's
Indonesia.
right.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
man. Fucking
the
hell.
risk, I don't know. That's
Firing squad and shit. That's barbaric, man.
yeah, that's next level
Wow.
for sure.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's all the news we have. Did we have
Yeah.
any good news? Kind of.
Well, I mean guaranteed income thing for families in New Mexico. That's
Indeed, indeed.
I'd say that's some good news, some good way to spend some cannabis tax dollars.
Damn.
But otherwise, no. A lot of it was pretty depressing.
Oh
So,
wow. This
yeah.
that's the deal which we have with everybody now. If you want good news stories, send them to us. Otherwise, we just gotta find the darkest shit we can find.
Well, that's usually all that's out there at the time.
Yeah, that's it. This is the thing as well. It's what you see most of the time. It's just negative stories because that's what they want us to see. You know, that's just the way it is. Anyway, there's no forum news. I don't think nothing to add on the forum side of things. Friday, what would Friday be? Not the last day. Okay, yeah. So still a long time until we have the Patreon session. A couple of interviews coming up this week. Yeah, no, I haven't written them down though. I can't remember what their names were. But yeah, interviews this week at usual times, usual places. You know where to find us. And yeah, that's it, right? Anything to add on Bite Me side of things there, Margaret?
I'm trying to think. I did start a little merch shop, might be bitemepodcast.shop,
Cool.
which I'm still sort of figuring out, but I finally got that up. And yeah, I have an interview coming up with Christina Wong from Fruit and Flower, somebody I have admired for quite some time. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Go check out Bite Me, everybody. I mean, if you download Bite Me as well, then that's like 4 days of the week that you can get cannabis content from us. You know, you get the news Monday from the High and Homegrown, interviews Wednesday, High and Homegrown, Bite Me podcast on Thursdays, and then Grow
Right.
Guys on Fridays, plus the live show on Sundays.
Hey,
Gosh.
what more could you want?
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's right. All for free as well.
Yeah.
All for free.
Right.
You'll miss us when AI kills us. All right.
Yeah, when there's AI podcasts coming along.
That's right. And AI music. I made an AI tune this week, everybody. You want to hear it? Let's go. Are we ready for a smoke break?
Yeah.
I think so. Let's go. Okay, so I've been playing with this AI music maker thing, right? I think I should be able to play this and not get flagged for copyright because it's an original
An
song.
original tune.
Should we
Yeah.
try it, Margaret? I think we should try it,
Yeah.
right?
What's
Everybody,
I mean,
listen
you're
to
not
this
like
random.
selling it commercially, or like what would be the issue?
That's right. I'm just showing people it as an advertisement
Right.
for the website. There. Here we go, everybody. Just listen to this for a couple of minutes.
Yo, it's high on homegrown. Light up and tune in from seed to the cure. We growing and we win. Dropping knowledge in your ears like a fresh harvest. Talking buds, bugs, and tricks from the smartest. Macky on the mic with the crew so wise. Got growers worldwide reaching for the skies. From cocoa to soil, LED to sun. Teaching all the rookies how it's properly done. We break it down. Tree combs to terps. No BS talk. Just real grower perks. So roll it, pack it, spark and relax while we drop truth bombs and cannabis facts. It's not just a show, it's a grower zone. Get high on knowledge, high on homegrown. It's not just a show, it's a grower zone. Get high on knowledge, high on homegrown. Yo, it's high on homegrown.
How fucking cool is that? That's fucking crazy, right? That's crazy. It's like I went to ChatGPT and was like, yo, ChatGPT, write a rap song about High on Homegrown podcast. Yeah, a couple of words are out. You hear that? But I can go and fix that up at some point, I think. But yeah, and then I copied the lyrics. I didn't even write the lyrics myself. Fuck. And tree combs. But and then I pasted it over there. It's like, make this a rap song. And he gave me a few versions, and that was one of them. It's like, fucking damn. Just took 2 minutes. 2 minutes from having nothing, from just asking ChatGPT for that, then posting it over on the Suno website and being like, make tune out of that. It's like, pow, done. And there's different ones as well. I've got like more pop versions of it, some liquid drum and bass versions of it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they have all the music genres. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, fucking cool, man. So there we go. Maybe we should make one for Bite Me. Should we make one for Bite Me podcast? That's
Yeah.
right. Let's do it.
I might have made one like a long time ago, and I don't know what I do with it.
Mm-hmm. On the Suno site, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Have
don't
to
want to
go
play all the versions there, all the versions there, Liam Z. No. You know, you guys make a version. That's what you should do. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to
Yeah.
do. Yeah, good shit. I know, should we play another version? We didn't get flagged for copyright like instantly anyway. Did he even have another one on this? That one there and that one? No, because that was 2-pack one. Yeah, it only lets me queue 10, so I don't even have that one anymore.
It
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
let you queue them all up?
No, I think I can only queue 10 at a time, maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't remember what that one was about. It's just got stars. Yeah, so no, let's not do another version. leave them all wanting more. And 5 Tops is Suno free. Yeah, it's free, but you get like 50 credits or something like that. And there's little perks that you don't get because you don't have the paid for version. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna get the full version for a month and see what happens. Then I can use it. Then I can use the songs, like I can put them out there because I have the licensing for it and shit like that. So that would be cool. You just make a few
Do you
different
get the
weed songs.
licensing if you make a song on it?
Whilst you have a subscription, you have the licensing for it. So if the subscription
I
runs
see.
out, then you lose it, I think. So,
Right.
Crazy shit, man. AI is taking over. It's madness.
I know. It really isn't everything.
I mean, it's not going to be long now before, and you probably can. There's probably already software out there. I just don't know what it is, where you can just be chilling, be like, yo, play a tune for me. I want it like a chilled out hip hop version, no lyrics, just play some chill hop, and then it'll play, and you'll be like, make it a little bit faster and add some more saxophone occasionally. Yeah, that's cool. Load the drums. That's perfect. Thank you. And just like that, you'll have the tune you want to listen to.
You're like on the fly, you're saying?
Yeah, just like you could just say it. I mean, I think those days are coming because you can
Oh,
speak
I
to
see.
ChatGPT now and have a conversation backwards and forwards. So you can use it in real time. So you should be able
Right.
to just be like, can you play for me if you're linked up to Spotify AI? Don't be stealing my idea, Spotify AI, you pricks. Too late now anyway. But, you know, it's like, play me Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin, but put it in a dubstep version. And it will play it for you.
Right.
It'll be like, oh, that's a bit heavy. A little bit of a less dubstep version. That's
How
cool.
long do you
Thank you.
think it's going to be before we have like our first AI movie?
I think we already have one, but it's just not good.
Oh. Okay. Have you
Yeah.
seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Or you've just heard tell of
I'm
this?
sure there's one. Well, I'm sure there's one out there.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me at all because that Sona stuff's pretty impressive as well. Is it Sora, the video making software?
Yeah.
Man,
I
and
forget.
remember, like last year, maybe 18 months ago, there was making videos with Will Smith eating pizza and spaghetti. Remember how bad they were? And now you can't distinguish it from real video. It's madness.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. The AI is coming for all of us. Doesn't matter. No profession is safe
Now maybe electricians are safe.
for now.
For now, indeed. Yeah.
For now.
Crazy. You seen someone
Yeah,
post
have
what
you
was...
seen some of those robots? I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah, they're cool too. I mean, oh, God, yeah.
Like they're doing backflips and shit. You're telling me they couldn't eventually get one to like just wire a house?
Well, yeah. Fuck.
It's
Not
come
long,
full
is it?
circle.
Wow, man. What are we all going to do? What are we all going to do? We're going to have to start our own podcasts, everybody. But even that, I think is on its way. I mean, it depends how people feel about it. Where do you actually want to listen to a real people, or do you just want to listen to a good conversation about something you enjoy? So, you know, could you just tell AI to be like, give me a conversation where two people discuss points about blah, and then it will just give it to you right there. Like make one of them Michael Jackson and the other one Clint Eastwood. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, oh, Michael Jackson's pissing me off. Change that guy to Robin Williams.
Oh, that'd be good.
You
Robin
know?
Williams. Yeah.
That's all coming,
Yeah.
man.
I'm on the fence as to whether that's going to make the world better or a lot worse.
Yeah, it's really scary. I saw a statistic that last year, the most popular websites in the world, ChatGPT was number 15. But this year, ChatGPT is on 5th. The 5th most popular website in the world. Crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
number one? If it's not
I think it's
ChatGPT?
got to be Instagram or Facebook, isn't it? Instagram, Facebook,
Oh.
YouTube, Google. I think they're the top ones.
Right. Okay, that
You know.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Good shit, man. Good shit. Well, is it good shit? I don't know.
I don't know.
But the way
Well-
content is made is going to be changing a lot over the next 10 years. Everything's going to be changing a lot over the next 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
Madness. Do
Yeah.
you use ChatGPT often, don't you, Margaret?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Sometimes I use Claude. Sometimes I use LeChat. Sometimes I use DeepSeek. It depends on the mood.
All right.
There's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah, man, I would feel like I'm cheating on ChatGPT if I used another one, you know?
I'm a little more polyamorous in my usage of AI, I guess.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
ChatGPT knows about your promiscuity, Margaret.
I'm sure it does. Hasn't complained yet, though.
It's kinky. It's into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Crazy tech. Crazy tech. It's coming for us all. You been watching any good TV recently, Margaret?
I've been watching Last of Us and Handmaid's Tale, which might be a
Oh,
little too on the nose right now, but that's a
how
whole
is
other.
that Last of Us? Man, I wanted to watch it so much. I mean, I wanted to watch it for a long time, but it's on Apple TV, so I haven't had the chance. Then I've seen these fucking clips around the internet
Yeah.
where somebody gets pregnant, and then the woman's there like, I'm gonna be a dad. I just can't take that seriously. I just
Oh, right. Yeah,
it's just like I don't think I want to watch this now.
right. Well, that was the main character. She's pretty androgynous, so
What
kind
does
of makes sense.
androgynous mean?
Well, it doesn't necessarily present fully as male or female, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Liam's he said you could get an AI version of you, Macky, when you can't do the AI host. They can't do the show the AI hosts. Nah, that would be lame. He would tell shit jokes.
Ah, it would tell shit jokes. That's what you're worried about?
Yeah, damn, definitely. Gosh.
Uh,
That witty humor comes with practice, you know? Them
Right.
epic jokes. Jesus. You got any good jokes, Margaret? You got any
No.
good jokes today?
Well,
No.
I have one joke that I tell.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourself. That's my only joke. I've been telling that joke forever. I think I originally got it from Catch Me If You Can.
Like the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
good
in
film. Good film.
it's in that movie. And
Leonardo
I'm
DiCaprio.
terrible at remembering jokes. Like I'm one of those people that can remember everything but the punchline or whatever. This one's classic. It's just sort of,
I got a
you
good
know,
knock knock joke.
yeah.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
I eat mop.
I eat mop who?
I
I think I've heard you tell that joke before too, for fuck's sake.
know, right? I thought so as well, but you
Yeah.
might have forgotten. You might have forgotten.
I did,
That's right.
actually. Yeah.
Why are chickens funny?
I don't know.
Because.
Oh, that one's pretty
Why are
good.
pirates funny?
I don't know.
Because they are.
See, those are the kind of jokes I remember, maybe.
They're so terrible. It's
know.
because they're so terrible, but they're so good. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
There you go, everybody. Hit that like button for them jokes there.
that's
right.
right.
That's
Master
right.
class right here.
Indeed. Gosh, they can't right now. They're holding their sides after their sides are hurting so much.
That's right.
That's right. But when you compose yourselves again, everybody hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Because they are ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Gosh. People miss out when they don't watch these smoke breaks, I think. We
I know, right?
yeah, they miss out on some quality content. You know what I'm saying?
What's the new pirate movie rated? What new pirate movie?
I don't know. Is there a new pirate movie?
Somebody's asking in the chat.
Yeah, no, just seen it, but it's like, do you even believe movie ratings anymore?
Is there a new pirate movie?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right then.
But Last of Us is still pretty good. There's a lot of like zombie action happening, which is it's like super creepy.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
I don't know. You should try it out. You
No,
should try
I'm
it.
not gonna support crappy Apple TV either.
I don't even watch it on Apple TV, and I have Apple
Oh,
TV.
you got HBO or something, yeah? Because on HBO, is it?
Yeah, yeah, which is on a whole other streaming platform here.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I know it does get a little crazy.
I
Like you
saw a
can
meme
have
today, which is very apt. Where it's like, sorry, the movie you want to watch is not on any of the 13 platforms you're subscribed to, but you can pay for it here. Fuck.
I
Yeah.
know, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is really
Extortion, man.
ridiculous.
It's extortionate.
I mean, we used to think it was going to save us from like high cable bills or like satellite or whatever. And now if you have all the streaming platforms, you're already probably paying, I don't know,
Yep.
$80 a month or something crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, let's get back to professional and talk about some growing stuff. Are you ready for that?
I think so.
Or have you got any? Do you have Paramount over there, Margaret?
Yeah.
Because there's a new reasonably new TV show called Mobland with Tom Hardy. Have you seen that?
No, because I don't know if I have Paramount.
All right.
Like it's here. I forget which platform you have to get it through. I think it's like an add-on or something at
Right.
Prime.
Yeah. That's what usually goes with Prime, isn't it? You have to
What is it
buy
called?
these add-ons.
Mobland?
Mobland, yeah.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's
Why
good
have I heard
TV.
about it?
Good TV. Because they've been
Uh,
spamming it on all the adverts, like, oh, watch Mobland from Guy Ritchie.
It's
Yeah.
on Paramount, but I think it's an add-on to Prime and Apple TV.
God damn. Why do they mess us around like this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because now I hear too that they're like, a lot of these platforms you have to pay extra if you don't want to pay for ads.
Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it? The
Yeah, and I'm like,
cheeky
wasn't that the whole
bastards.
premise in the first place? Was like not to have
Mhm.
ads? I will say though, I use the Brave browser, and I
Mm.
don't get a lot of ads on a lot
Yeah,
of stuff.
same.
Which is like, if anybody out there listening, Brave, it's the way
Yeah,
to go.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And last week I went round my brother's house, right? And he was
Yeah.
asleep. So I loaded
Yeah.
up his computer and I went to YouTube. And, because YouTube was on it on the fucking screen. And I just typed in Rick Astley. I'm going to give him a Rick roll. He was asleep. Going to wake him with a Rick roll. Fucking turn up volume, press play on the video. Ad plays. Couldn't skip it for a whole minute. So I want to watch a
Oh,
fucking
really?
2-minute music video here. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I was like, don't worry. Just ignore this. I was like, what the fuck is this? You not use Brave? He's like, what's Brave? So I had to explain to him.
I don't know how people don't know about Brave, because
Yeah.
somebody was doing a video on the different browsers, and they're like, and if you use Brave, you don't see ads. I'm like, God damn it.
Mhm,
I've been using Brave for
mhm.
years, and I never realized.
I can
didn't
tell you
even
here,
notice.
since I've used Brave, which has been quite a while now, because it tells you when you open up a new window, there's 591,494 trackers and ads that have been blocked. It saved me 5.18 gigabytes of bandwidth, and it saved me 8.2 hours in time instead of watching fucking ads on YouTube.
Yeah, it's crazy when it tells you like all the blockers and stuff, ad trackers, and
Madness.
yeah.
It pisses me off when I gotta look for something on my phone, because I just use a normal browser when I'm on my phone, and I'll get an ad on YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Why aren't you using Brave on your phone?
Yeah, I should really. I have Brave on my phone as well. It's just habit. It's where the icon is for the internet browser. Just click there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just
should you?
move it. Move it
Brave's the
around.
one. Yeah, I think I should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So just before we move on to the Grow Guide, say just a quick word from our sponsor. Are you sick of ads on your YouTube?
'Cause
Download
I
Brave
think
today.
you still get, yeah, right. I still get like the ads at the beginning of the video.
Oh,
But
really?
usually,
Even on Brave?
yeah, but usually I can skip them and then I don't see any more.
Wow, I don't get any at all.
I'm pretty sure I do. I
Hmm.
don't know. I'd have to look again, but
Anyway,
yeah.
let's talk about making some nutrients.
Yeah.
Let's go. So this is essentially part 4 of the series which we've got going on here, which is all about building soil, making your raised bed, and then making some nutrients to go along with it to keep it all up and running. So this one, I think, should be the final part of this mini series we've got here, this 4 episodes, and we're essentially going to talk about how to make homemade nutrients for cannabis plants. Nice and easy, right? Do you do this because I know you grow outdoors, Margaret? Do you make your own nutrients at all?
No. I probably should, but I don't. I remember my mom used to make manure tea.
Manure tea
Yeah.
for plants, right?
Yeah, for the garden, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because she had a lot of flower beds and stuff, and they used to also have horses like a long time ago.
Right.
So I'm assuming that's where they got the poo from.
Oof.
Let's hope.
You
All I
know,
know is my sister had to shovel it. So
oh gosh.
yeah,
Back in the day, you had to shovel
back in the
cold
day,
shit,
had to
frozen,
shovel those
frozen
poop.
piles of poop.
Yeah.
Did you eat any, or do you just eat your own poop?
Neither. Fun fact.
Right. So what we're going to talk about today is, the different kind of things that you can add to your soil, rather than just going to the grow shop and buying these nutrients, which is just overpriced shit mixed in water, essentially. So the first thing we should cover is compost tea, or compost tea, as some would call it, which is a pretty easy thing to make. Do you want to cover how the compost tea is made, Margaret?
Yeah, because I was reading through this earlier and I was like, this looks so easy. I should be doing it
Yeah, it
because I
really
have all the
is.
stuff pretty much. So
Hmm.
basically, the purpose is to feed your soil microbes, increase nutrient uptake, and boost plant immunity. And I'm assuming this would also work for plants other than your cannabis plants, like if you're growing
Hmm.
house plants, vegetables, whatever. This would probably work well for all those things. So basically, you're going to need per 20 liters of water, 1 to 2 cups of high quality compost or worm castings. I've got that in stock. A tablespoon of molasses, unsulfured, check. An optional 1 teaspoon kelp meal or alfalfa meal.
Nice.
Then you're going to need an air pump and air stone and a 5 gallon bucket. So you're going to add all your ingredients to a mesh bag. I guess you can add it directly to the bucket as well, but I feel like having it in the bag would probably make this
Yeah,
whole
then you can
process.
remove it. You can
Yeah,
remove all the big bits.
yeah.
A mesh bag you can use, or there's like you can use a sock, an old sock,
Oh,
or
okay.
stockings, anything like that. That's gonna
Right.
hold the compost, the soil, all that shit in the sock, while just microbes and shit can get into the water and leach from there, like a big
Yeah,
tea bag essentially,
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
Then you add your water and you aerate it for 24 to 36 hours, and then you can use it immediately after brewing. Drench your soil or use as a foliar spray every 1 to 2 weeks. And if you use it immediately after brewing, like how long would how long can you keep it for? Can you
Well, you want to
obviously
keep the air going into it. As long as it's boiling, as long as it's bubbling with the air stone to keep the oxygen
right,
flowing, then it's going to be good for I don't know, maybe a week or something. I wouldn't want to keep it for too long, but still, as long as you got the oxygen getting in there, it should be fine. But once you put it in a
right,
bottle or something, or that air stone's no longer bubbling in there, you don't want to leave it too long, because it'll just start to get dodgy. It'll start smelling funny, and if there's
right.
any eggs of certain insects inside
Gross.
the water, that's gonna start hatching as well. Just dodgy shit like that. So
And do you need anything fancy as far as the air pump and air stone goes? Like, is this something you could pick up at a garage sale or something if
yeah,
somebody's
yeah,
getting
or like an
fish
aquarium.
tank or yeah,
The kind of shit you would just use in a fish tank. Just think that's gonna
perfect.
pump air into it.
Yeah, because we're getting into, well, here we're getting into garage sale season, so it's a good time to find that stuff for on the cheap as well.
And I seen it in the chat added there. When there is bubbles formed on the top, it's done. So yeah, there
Right.
you go. That's when
Yeah.
there's so many dead bacteria on the top that they're starting to bubble. You know.
Yeah, gross. You don't want that. So I guess use
Hmm.
it up pretty much within a day or two
Yeah.
of making
A-
it.
and it's just so easy to make like that. Just like, and it's gonna have all these ingredients that are inside the compost that you can that's gonna inoculate the water around it, and your plants are gonna fucking love it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and just normal room temperature. You don't have to do anything special. Obviously, make sure it's not fucking boiling. Make sure it's not too warm. Make sure it's not too
Right.
cold. Just normal Luke. Just the same temperature as the air around it will be fine. All right. Don't
Right.
worry about that too much. And then just but use it on your plants. And foliar spray as well is a good way, as Margaret mentioned there. This is a nice way to deliver nutrients directly to the leaves in case it's needed there. But also, because you're using compost like you've made, it's got all these local microbes in there, local bacteria and shit. That's gonna prevent nasty shit getting into your plants because it's immune to it. It's nice to use, even if you're just growing indoors in ordinary soil. You can use this stuff as well. I've seen people use it in hydro before, but I don't really like the whole adding bacteria and shit like that to hydro. But you can if you want
Right.
to. It's your choice, really. But if it doesn't work out well, then just stop using it.
But
But
so this is probably mostly for soil grows.
yeah, because it's got
Yeah.
the bacteria. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
but so easy to make, especially when you're making all that compost, like we mentioned a few episodes ago. You know,
Yeah.
if you've got it anyway, might as well, and it's worth
Yep.
it, man. And even if you are growing in like cocoa or something like that, it's good to aerate your water before you use it, even if you're not adding the compost to it. Just add some oxygen to the water, keep it bubbling.
Mhm.
Plants love it. Well, next up, we got something a little bit more complex. This is called lactobacillus, and this is a lab, what it's also known as. And I've made this a few times before. Pretty easy to make, but you know, you have to deal with some milk and curds and whey, I think it's called there. So, and this is just going to boost the microbial life, specifically lactobacillus. There's lots of different types of lactobacillus, and it just makes sure that the pathogens stay down, reduces the chances of your plant catching shit, you know, and it helps the nutrients break down to get to your plant easier as well. So really easy to do. You're going to start off, you're going to get a cup of rice, and you're going to use some non-chlorinated water because you don't want the bacteria being killed off. You're going to use about a liter, you know, and you're going to rinse the rice, and then there's going to be this shit that comes off the rice, because all over the surface of the rice is loads of lactobacillus bacteria, and you want to try and get the bacteria off the pieces of rice, so it's just in this water. And then you're going to use 500 milliliters of milk. You're going to, well, I'll explain that. Yeah, 500 milliliters of milk, and you can use molasses for storage. This will dry it out, so you can store it for long periods of time. Then you just add it to water, and it fires up all the microbes in it again. So that's just an optional step. You don't necessarily need the molasses or the sugar to preserve it. And you don't need to just use milk here either. But you don't need to get the lactobacillus from the rice. You can use kefir, because we had Clackamas Coot on the show before. Is he explaining this? If you want to go and check out that episode, good episode, loads of interesting information. But he said if you just let the kefir sit for a day on the side, so it starts to go dodgy, then you can just scoop off the lactobacillus off the top of there, and there's loads more strains of bacteria in that juice than there is on just using the rice. But you know, figure out
Just
which
the milk, kefir or kefir or however you say it.
yeah, kefir, that stuff, yeah. Kefir,
Yeah.
kefir. I don't know how to say it properly. I
know.
just call it kefir. Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff, it's got loads of good stuff in there, loads of good bacteria. So if you can get the juice off the top of that and add that to the milk, then that works well. Just to explain the instructions here. What you got to do: let the rice wash and sit for 3 to 5 days to ferment. A film will form on top. Now that's pretty easy to do. Just add the rice to the water and just wait for a bit. And then strain it and add 10 parts milk to 1 part rice wash liquid. So you're getting rid of the rice, and say you got a liter of milk. We're using 500 milliliters here. So then you're going to use 50 milliliters of the washed rice water stuff, you know? And that's because that's going to have the bacteria in it. And then you're going to leave it just sitting there for 5 to 7 days. It depends on temperature and things like that. What I did when I made mine is, you know, you get them things in the back garden, you can add juice to it, and it's got a little tap at the bottom, but you fill it up at the, you know, it just holds juice. So then if anybody wants you to come along with a cup, press the tap at the bottom, liquid pours out, close the tap again. You know, that kind of shit?
Right. Yeah.
Because what's going to happen here is as the milk's going to separate from the curds and the whey, and you're going to be left with this like clear liquid with white cheese looking stuff, like soft cheese floating at the top. And
Right.
you're going to have to get in there and get to that clear liquid, because that's the shit you want, without disturbing the cheesy stuff too much. And you can scoop out all the cheese and all that. That's cool. That's a way to do it. But I found what was really easy is you just get one of those, and then you can just turn the tap on and pour out all the liquid shit without disturbing the cheesy stuff at the top. You know? And nice and easy, man. Nice and easy. So, yeah, so once you've done that, you want to strain it to keep the yellow liquid. That's what you're doing. You're taking all that cheese stuff out. And then store in a sealed container in the fridge. Add 1 tablespoon of molasses to preserve it. Because then the molasses, the bacteria will eat in the sugar, I presume.
Oh,
But you can also
It's
add...
a fermented product, basically.
Sorry?
It's like a fermented product that you're making.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's not making alcohol or anything, I don't think.
No.
It's just a, you know, a shitload of specific bacteria that the soil likes, you know. And then once you've got that, you can store it in the fridge, as it said. But there was a guy I saw on YouTube who just used the shitload. I think it was brown sugar or something, I'm not sure exactly. You can find videos on how to make this, but you can use brown sugar and just add loads of that until it dries out, until it dries it all up, and that will completely preserve them all. And then you can just add that to water. So anyway, once you got this juice, just dilute 1 to 2 milliliters per liter of water. Use as a soil drench and foliar spray every 2 to 3 weeks. Nice and easy. Yeah.
So do you have, like, how important is it to have non-chlorinated water?
Well, the chlorine's there to try and kill off as much bacteria as possible in it. So
Right.
yeah, if you use that, then it's just going to kill off some of the bacteria when you're trying to use it all anyway. So it's better to use non-chlorinated water. So you know you can use distilled water and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Or let it sit for 24 hours? Because usually the chlorine will
Yeah, you can.
evaporate.
Well, you can have it evaporate, but then there's this other shit in there called chloramine, which doesn't evaporate so easily,
Mm,
and that can have an effect as well.
okay.
But yeah, if you just like boil it and leave it fucking 24 hours, it's gonna be good
Right.
enough, innit? It's gonna be good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it says in the chat there, a couple of guys saying that it's still fermenting, even though it's not making alcohol, it's still fermenting.
Yeah. Yeah, because that heat. Can you use like whey then? Like,
But you can use the whey. That's the white stuff at the top, right?
well, it's like the whey is like the liquid stuff because I've made yogurt and
Right.
cottage cheese and stuff, and you end up with like a big jar of whey afterwards. And the last time I did that, I was just like, I'm gonna use this for something. And then when we did the ice storm, I threw out a huge jar.
No, but
'Cause
yeah,
I
I think
forgot
it's
it in the
that
back of the fridge. But
it's that whey stuff that is that contains all the lactobacillus. I think it's all living in there.
right.
And then you're just
Huh.
going to use bits of that. You're going to dilute that into the water. What was it? 1 to 10 parts? Was it
Yeah.
the 1 to 2 milliliters per liter of water? So yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. So the whey is where all the lactobacillus bacteria is living. You got all the curds at the top, which you can use to I don't know, make fucking some cheesecake or something. I don't know. Dogs love it. So if you want
Yeah.
to feed it to your dog, that's what I did with
Well,
mine.
for any like yogurt, cheese makers, or anything like that out there, there's one way to use your whey. One way to eat the whey.
Yeah, and it's who is it? Chris Trump. Chris Trump has a good video on this as well because he makes all these kind of ingredients. Yeah, man.
That's good to know. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's really cool.
So not as easy as making compost tea, but still pretty easy. Just takes a few days, and then you can store this fucking ages, man. It lasts for so long, and it's cheap to make. You know, you're just using a little bit of rice and some water there, some milk. Sorry. So it's really easy to make, very cheap to make. You know, just like the compost tea there, very easy, very cheap, and yeah, your plants are gonna fucking love it. So do that. Next up, what do we have? Some jar dam microorganism solution. You want to take this one on, Margaret?
Yeah, I have never heard of this before, so this will be a treat for us all. Perhaps there are people out there who have heard about it. The Jadam Microorganism Solution, JMS. And the purpose is to populate your soil with beneficial indigenous microbes. And what you're going to need is 80 grams of non-chlorinated leaf mold from a healthy forest floor. So you're going to do a little foraging. And then you're going to need a medium potato, boiled and mashed. And you're going to need a tablespoon of sea salt and 18 liters of non-chlorinated water.
Nice. Precise.
Yes. And then you're going to add your mashed potato and salt to the water. Place the leaf mold into a mesh bag and submerge it. And then you're going to stir it twice a day for 3 to 5 days. White bubbles is a good sign. And a rotten smell means abort mission and start over. When it smells earthy and slightly sweet, it's ready. And then you can dilute it 1 to 20 with water and apply as a soil drench.
Yeah. See, when I did this, I did it wrong because it smelled bad, bro.
Oh, did it? I did it.
It smelled bad. I didn't want to do it all over again. But
Right.
what I did, because living in the UK, we have like really old things, and there's trees near me that are like 400 years old. And when you're going out and you want to get these places that's going to have loads of different types of bacteria, you want to go to these really old trees. So if you've got forests near you, and it needs to be near you, you want it close to home because, again, them local microbes, you know, the closer to home, the better. So you're just going to go out there, you're going to scoop up some of those leaves, find the old trees because they've been there for so long. You know, and they've not been infected with any dodgy shit think about the oldest, most organic tree you can think of in your area, and go to it and scoop up some of the leaves at the bottom of there. That's what you want to do. And that's the good shit. You know, microbes that have been there for hundreds, thousands of years, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to just go like, are you just picking up like old leaf matter from a healthy forest floor?
Yeah, pretty much. Like underneath the leaf, you know, like all them small bits, little bits of soil. It's like that kind of compost, similar to the thing you're doing with the compost tea there, because you're gonna put that in a bag as well. You know, like
Yeah.
a stocking or a sock or a mesh bag, and you're gonna leave that in the water. But it's gonna have the potato and a little bit of salt in the water as well. You know,
Yeah. Huh.
nice and easy, nice and easy.
So you've only tried it the one time and it didn't work out, but
Yeah.
would
Well, it didn't smell great. So I didn't use it. It might have worked.
Yeah.
I don't know. But as this one says here, start over if it smells bad. And that's the same with anything. You know, you don't want to ever put anything that smells dodgy, unless it's that fucking. Because I say that, and then I remember when I was growing pseudo-organically, just using organic nutrients from a bottle from Advanced Nutrients, and one of them was iguana blood or something like that. I can't remember the name of it specifically, but I'd been growing for a long time, and I've never spilt nutrients, never. But then I start growing with this. Fuck, it was dreadful. It smelled so bad. It smelled like, and I'm sure I spoke about this on the show before. It smelled like a fox had eaten a dead fish, because it wouldn't eat a live one. But, you know, a fish that had been decomposing for a while. So he ate this decomposing fish, and then he digested it for a little while. It gave him a little bit of a gut ache, you know. So the next day he shat it out. It's a little bit runny, a little bit diarrhea-y. And that's
Right.
diarrhea fox shit from a dead fish. Imagine that smell.
That
Put
is
yourself there.
quite the visual that
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
that's
It was bad.
horrible.
It was bad. And
Okay.
the only time I've ever spilt nutrients on the floor, it was
Yeah.
when I got them fucking fish shit, fox shit, fucking nutrients all over the carpet, man. It was terrible, terrible. I had to clean all that shit up. Jesus. Oh. But
Right.
any other time, no salt-based newts. They've never been spilt. You know? Just that mean organic shit. God
Yeah.
damn. But yeah, this is just another nice, easy way which you can make some nutrients that your plant's gonna love, you know. And again, it's the bacteria in the soil that you're feeding. You want to keep them guys happy. So using these kind of input methods are always good, you know. We got another one
Yeah.
here. We got fermented fruit juice. So it's a natural plant nutrient and growth booster. Nice and easy, not many ingredients here. You got 1 part chopped ripe fruit, so banana, mango, papaya, melon, etc. Just fruit, and 1 part brown sugar. So if you're using 100 grams of fruit, you'll use 100 grams of brown sugar. You got to mix the sugar and the fruit together in a jar. That's clean. Probably make sure there's no other dodgy shit in there. Cover it with a cloth or a paper towel. Don't put the lid on it, because you need it to be you need air to be able to go in and out, so it doesn't start going all funky inside the jar, you know. So, but you don't want to let shit in there. If you don't want dust getting in there, or flies being like, oh look, there's some fruit and some sugar, because you know they love that shit. So you got to put a cloth over the top, just a paper towel or a flannel or something like that. As long as air can get in and out, but bugs can't, you'll be fine. And then you just let that sit for 7 to 10 days. Yeah, strain the liquid and store in the fridge. Nice and easy.
That one is pretty easy.
Just takes time. And when you got ripe fruit, like, I mean, you can scrape off the banana skin. There's got to be mangoes that are just a little bit past ripeness, you know. I don't know. Yeah. But how much is a mango? You know, a pound. Cheap as fuck.
Yeah, it's not going to be a lot. Are you better too, like using these? Like, are they better as overripe fruit, or just ripe?
Well, just not rotten, I would say.
Right.
You don't want to use not ripe, because the sugars ain't going to be correct. You know, the sugars ain't going to be in the right place for it. You want it to be ripe, so it's not too sour, not too tart. You know.
Yeah.
Lots of different fruits would be like that.
Right.
But yeah, just leave it sitting there. Strain the liquid, of course. Get rid of all the big bits in it, using a cheesecloth or something like that. And then yeah, store in the fridge. And if you when you do come to use it, you're only going to use a small amount, 1 to 4 milliliters per liter of water, and apply it as a foliar spray or drench during veg or flour, depending on the fruit used. Because you know there's going to be things like bananas that have got more PK in it. So if you're going through flour and you want to add some organic phosphorus to the soil to feed the plants, then using a banana would be good. But if you're looking for something more nitrogen heavy and using some kind of green shit, I don't know, man, like peas or something, I don't even know what you should use for specifically nitrogen in those stages. But it's all about keeping the microbes happy, and the microbes will love it. A little bit of fruit in there, some sugar. You know what they're like. Fussy
I'm trying to
bastards.
imagine actually what this would be like because you're just literally putting like a piece of like some fruit and some brown sugar, and then they ferment together. And there's no water in it. It's obviously
Mm-hmm.
gonna be quite the sludge.
Yeah,
But
but maybe it'll make a nice drink, or
ugh,
or
maybe
some kind of sorbet. You know?
I'll leave that for others to figure out.
Yeah. Let us know, everybody.
Yeah,
That's gonna be bad,
yeah.
But just some other KNF inputs. You want to talk about those, Margaret?
Yeah, so another the first one under KNF inputs, which is Korean natural farming, is the FPJ, which is fermented plant juice. And you're going to use vigorous local plants like comfrey, nettle, or cannabis leaves. And it's the same process as what we just described with the
Fermented fruit juice.
fermented fruit juice.
Yeah.
So you're going to take your plant material plus the brown sugar, ferment it for 7 to 10 days, and you can use it for vegetative growth, diluted at 1 to 2 milliliters per liter.
Yeah. And I just seen Marco doing this the other day over on his Instagram. So go follow Microbes by Marco over on Instagram. He does this. This is his way of growing. This is his expertise, man. And I've seen
So
him
you
just
use
chop.
the fermented plant juice for your vegetative, and then you could switch to the fruit for your when it's flour.
Sounds right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I saw Marco chopping down loads of stinging nettles the other day to make some FFJ out of it. No, what's it called? Fermented FPJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this whole process of Korean natural farming as well, there's so many different things you can do to make different nutrients for your plants. It's really fucking cool, man. You want to check out Chris Trump's info. Everybody, he's been on the show many times, and so has Marco. Check out his interviews as well if you want to know more about all of this, because it's a really interesting way to add nutrients to your plants and not have to buy any nutrients from the grow shop. All this shit is just organically sourced, locally sourced, made at home.
Yeah, and it doesn't really take a whole lot of work. Like you're just mixing a couple of things and letting it sit on your counter or wherever.
Yeah, and it dilutes ridiculous as well. You see that, like 1 to 2 milliliters in a liter.
So does that mean it has like some shelf life after you make it?
Yeah, well, if you keep it in the fridge, I assume it would. It's just if it smells funky, don't use it, innit? That's the typical rule. If it smells strange, don't fucking use it.
And for the like local plants, could that be pretty much anything for the greenery? Like I have a lot of, say, ferns that grow around here. Could I use ferns?
Yeah, anything green, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, stinging nettles are everywhere, so I mean, you can find some of those. You have stinging nettles, right?
Yeah, we do. I just don't know if there's any like right around here. I just know there's a lot of ferns.
Yeah, man. Well, you can use cannabis leaves as well, so any leaves should do it.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, you want to carry on?
Yeah, I was going to. The next one was the water-soluble calcium. So you're going to roast egg shells, soak in brown rice vinegar for 10 days, which you can use to strengthen stem and support flowering.
That's right.
Strengthen stem and support your flowering.
Yeah.
And
this is an important one. The calcium can be hard to find, and using eggshells, they're like pure calcium, so you can just grind that shit up, then soak it, and roast them as well. People say they grill them or something, put them in the oven for a while, roast them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to soften them. It makes it easier then. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Each one of these, if you pick out ones which sound really familiar to you, really appealing, and you think these are going to be working well for you, then it's best to just go and check out like Marco's stuff, Grandmaster Marco, as was corrected earlier, and also Chris Trump, as I said as well. And if you find their channels and look up you search for WCA on their channel, you'll find something how to make the water-soluble calcium really easily,
Yeah.
So definitely go and check those out.
And then the last one under the Korean natural input techniques, if you will, or nutrient techniques, is your oriental herbal nutrient, which is fermented garlic, ginger, cinnamon with alcohol. And it boosts the plant immune system with microbial health. Use sparingly, as in 0.5 to 1 milliliter per liter.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Such a small amount.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just real simple things that you can make at home in less than a week. You know, well, some of them 10 days, but it's not difficult. Yeah. So you just set that shit up, and once it's done, it's done. Then you don't need to fuck around with it all the time. And still, how long does it really take? You know, a few minutes to chop some shit up, mix it in a jar, and then let it sit.
Yeah, not
You
very
know?
long. Like the fermented and the plant fruit juice ones are pretty easy. It's just the waiting, the 7 to 10 days, but the
Mhm.
actual hands-on time is like
Yeah,
5 minutes.
minimal. Hmm.
Yeah.
It's just got knowing how to do it. You know, it's not difficult. So yeah, as we mentioned, everybody, the compost tea. Put some compost in some kind of bag. Let it boil. Let it boil. No, not boil. Don't boil it. Right? Let it bubble with an air stone for just 24 hours, 24, 36 hours. Then you're good with some compost tea. Nice and easy. The lactobacillus. Wash some rice. Add it to the milk. Wait for a few days for the whey and the curds to separate. Take out the whey. Store that. Nice and easy. You know, dilute it 1.2 milliliters per liter of water, and you're good. Foliar feed or water it. It's up to you. Do both. Then you got the jarred down microbe solution with the JMS. So you go find yourself some of the some nice leaf and shit from an old tree. That's gonna have, you know, try and find little bits of fungi in there as well. That's a good way to go too. You know, if you've got little white bits of mycelium, then that's some good shit. Throw that in there as well, because that'll go into the water too. You know, and then you got your potato, and a little bit of salt. You're good. Just let it bubble. Nice and easy. Yeah, fermented fruit juice. Chop up the fruit, put it in there with the same parts brown sugar, and let it sit for 10 days. Put a cloth over it, of course, so nothing can get in there. 7 to 10 days. You're good. You got the next shit. It's all very simple. You know, FPJ, fermented plant juice. The WCA for the water-soluble calcium. Then the OHN for oriental herbal nutrients. You've also got stuff called IMO, indigenous microorganisms, I think it's called, where essentially you take out some rice. You're going to cook some rice, half cook it, don't cook it all the way. And you take that out to the woods somewhere in a wooden box and just let it sit there for a few days until shit starts to grow on it. Some mold looking stuff. and that means the microbes are getting in there. That's like local microbes again, and you can take that shit away and you can turn it into a powder and use that for the plants as well. But again, you can find specific guides. Marco's actually doing some of that right now on his Instagram. He's put some pictures up recently, some videos of the whole process of making some IMO, and that's another popular one you should do. Oh, what else is as well? Not just IMO, there's another one, the fermented fish juice, where you use a fish to you know, inoculate the water and shit like that as well. There's so many different ways of doing this, so many different ways of making nutrients. You know? So just jump in at the deep end and try learning as many as possible and figuring out which ones are going to work well for you.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Then along with all of these, you know, you can make all these different kinds of shit, but then you can just top dress, where all you're going to do is sprinkle some stuff on top of your soil and you're going to water it in, and that's essentially going to feed your plants. So, you know, there's lots of different ways to do that as well. Do you want to talk about some of these, Margaret? You want to talk about the worm castings, like the NPK ratio and all that?
Yeah, so top dressing with worm castings, the NPK ratio is about 1 to 0.0,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to do
Yep.
5 to 10 centimeters as a top layer. And the 30 to 60 milliliters, is that, or liters, is that like the size of the pot?
I would think
The
that's the
spring?
size of
Or
the soil it's going onto, for
oh,
a
okay.
pot size, yeah, of 30 to 60 litre pot, then 5 to 10
Yeah.
centimeters top layer. Seems like a lot. Seems like a lot.
Yeah, but you're just needing 5 to 10 centimeters as a top layer. And then it's great for microbial life, as a microbial life booster and mild nitrogen source.
Mm-hmm. Then we got this rabbit manure, and this is another one Marco uses as well, cold rabbit manure. But you should really let that break down, get it composted for a while, I think. You know, that's a NPK ratio of 2, 1, 0.8. And when we say NPK ratio, just in case you don't remember, that's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So these different levels are when you want to use it. You know, and you want stuff with more nitrogen for veg, and then when it's going more into flower, you want more of the PK. So use different ones accordingly, you know. That's 5 to 10 liter top dressed or mixed in. This is for a raised bed of 1 meter by 1 meter with 60 centimeters deep as well, just so you all know about that. So pretty much the bed that we've been working on over the last few episodes there. So yes, can be used fresh or slow release for slow release nutrients. So you can just use the fresh rabbit manure. Marco likes to let his break down. You know, the rabbits poop on the top of some soil, and it breaks down a little bit before he scoops it up and then uses it to sprinkle onto his soil and feed the plants with it.
Does
Nice.
he have rabbits? Like, where does one obtain rabbit manure cold?
Yeah, he has a couple of rabbits. He
Oh, he
feeds them
does.
specific things, so he knows
Okay.
what's going into them, what's coming out of them. Marco's
Right.
on this shit, man. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to all of this. And
Huh.
then also, I can't remember who it was, but somebody has chickens as well, and because you can use chicken manure, which is NPK ratio of 4:3:2, 2 to 5 liters, well composted. Yeah, because this shit's really hot. You know, when we say hot, it means
Right.
like rammed full of nutrients. So if you give that to young plants, you might burn them. You know, too much nutrients for them. So you let that shit break down in your compost for a while first. And it's usually like months. You want to let that shit really break down, but it adds a lot of nutrients. You can see that with the NPK ratio of 4:3:2, that's got quite a lot of stuff in it. You know, it's got quite a lot of everything. So you drop that in your soil, let it compost, and it's gonna be some good shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, like actual good shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, literal good shit.
Then we got some alfalfa meal. You want to talk about alfalfa and all that there, Margaret?
Yes.
Alfalfa
So
is just grass, right?
yeah, I think so.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I think it's just some type of grass or something.
Like you can get like alfalfa sprouts and eat them.
Right. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I had that problem with that. What's that one? Kale. Kale
Yeah.
was a recent update to the simulation that I didn't know anything about until a couple of years ago, and now everybody goes on like it's just always been a normal thing.
Has been around for a while. Just
Allegedly.
saying.
Allegedly.
But the alfalfa meal it has an NPK ratio of 2.51 to 2.5. And you
1
just
and 2.5. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. 1 to 2 cups per 100 liters of soil. So that'd be 6 to 12 cups total. And it contains triacantanol, a natural growth hormone.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
when would you want to use this? During veg?
Well, yeah, all the way through the grow, really. Just every few weeks, just top it up, make sure that it's got plenty in there. Yeah.
Does that apply to pretty much all of these? Like, I guess some of them obviously, like you were saying earlier, like during flower, you might want something different, but you might consider top dressing every few weeks.
You when it because on you know when we spoke about horizontal soil last week, there's gonna be this
I
Marco
wasn't
calls it
here
the
last
O
week.
layer. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but so on you because you have your living soil, which is the last layer, and then on the top of that, you're gonna have this organic layer of different
Hmm.
shit, like different top dressings and things like that. And one of them's gonna be hay, and this is where the alfalfa meal comes in. You're gonna have this layer of alfalfa meal over the top, which is going to get broken down, and it's going to consistently be there. So when it goes down and when it starts to run out, you just top it up again and let it get broken down over time. So it helps keep the moisture locked in the soil and things like that, so it don't evaporate too fast. Yeah,
Right.
keeps the worms happy because the worms are going to climb up, going to eat some of that, drag it in, and microbes are going to eat some of that. You know,
Yeah.
so it'll just die down over time as the level gets lower.
Yeah.
It's getting
Yeah.
consumed by what's in the soil. Just top it up
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Cool,
not
cool,
too
cool.
much because you don't want dodgy shit getting stuck in there.
Right.
Yeah, and then kelp. What's this kelp meal?
Well, kelp is fishy, isn't it? It's like
Is it
your
seaweed or something?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
NPK ratio about 1 to 0.1 to 2, and 1 cup per 100 liters of soil, rich in micronutrients and plant growth hormones.
Yes. More PGRs there, but you know, natural ones, instead of this chemical nastiness that people use. And you got the neem cake as well, and you know, people like to try and avoid using neem if possible, you know, but it's just a way to keep pests away, some nice preventative for the pests there. You got this NPK ratio of 4:1:2. Use 1 to 2 cups per 100 liters of soil. So if you're looking at the raised bed, which we were talking about, you're going to have a shitload in there. So it's not just going to be 100 liters, it's going to be more like 500-600 liters. So use 6 to 12 cups depending on the size of the raised bed that you're using. And it will add some NPK, obviously, but it's also got that pest resistance and some antifungal properties as well, which can be a good thing. But it's nice to have just a little bit of fungus in your soil. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
crustacean meal. You want to take that one away, Margaret?
Yeah, that sounds fun. Crustacean meal is MPK 400, and you're going to need 1 cup per 100 liters of soil. And it is a source of calcium, nitrogen, and chitin. Chitin?
I have no idea.
Chitin. I'm going to say
Shittin.
keep saying it.
Shittin.
Because that'll
Pronounce
just make
it.
more sense.
Pronounce the CH like SH for some of those words you do, right? Chardonnay.
Yes,
Like
or the crustacean
shittin.
meal. And
Yes.
but it's good for pest resistance.
Right.
I feel like some of these are going to be easier to get than others.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely for sure. Like fish bone meal, which is the next one here. We have which is 318 and 0, so that's huge in the middle there. You can get that from. We have this shop called Aldi here in the UK, and right now you can
Yeah.
go there, and you can even get this shit from B&Q and things like that. Just boxes of it comes as like a powder, and it's just a fish bone meal. You can get fish blood and bone meal, all this different shit. It tells you what the NPK ratio is on the outside, and you can just couple of cups on the top of the soil there, and then water it in, and it will help feed the microbes and the plants and shit. And depending on the stage you're using it at, depends on what kind of NPK ratio it's getting. So this one,
Right.
the fish bone meal specifically, is a bit heavy in phosphorus. It's a very dense one. But if
Yes,
you're
it's
in the
good for
flowering stage,
flowering.
that's when the plant uses most of that phosphorus, man. So if you're going through that, well, when flowering's coming up, sprinkle some of this. But obviously, don't sprinkle too much. It's better to have not enough than just overfeeding the plants massively and burning them and shit. So you just got to be careful with this kind of stuff, especially something as hot as 318.0,
Yeah, that's something though I know you can buy at like garden centers here, like Canadian Tire or whatever.
Yeah, even in Aldi as well and B&Q, you can buy chicken manure pellets as well here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so you can use that shit too, like actual shit,
yeah.
You can buy that shit in a box. And man, that was some good shit, that was as well. My plants are always happy in that.
Right. Right.
So rock phosphate here, we got 030, 1 to 2 cups per 100 liters of soil. So again, you're looking at 500 liters of soil if you're, or the whole horizontal thing in the bed which we're talking about. So you're talking about like 6 to 12 cups again. So yeah, you're gonna know how much soil and shit is inside your raised bed there. So you're gonna know how much to use accordingly. But this is just for a slow release of phosphorus. It's good to add this kind of stuff when you're building the soil, not necessarily as a top dress, because it's a slow release, so it'll break down over a long period of time to deliver a constant amount of phosphorus to your soil for your plants and your microbes there. Yeah. What's this next one, Margaret? What the fuck does that say?
Langbonite?
Do you know what that is?
No idea.
No, neither do I. That's what I was asking. But you said it so confidently and correctly. I was
Well,
like,
that's what you have to
is
do.
this another simulation thing?
Yep. This one provides potassium, magnesium, and sulfur because the K is 22. It's 0022. You need 100
Yeah, it's
half
crazy,
cup
isn't it?
per 100 liters of soil.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's going to give you, but I don't know if that's something you'll find at a local Canadian Tire.
Yeah, if we've never heard of it, it's not going to be likely, But if you
Yeah.
mix that, for example, with the fish bone meal, which has got 0 when it comes to the potassium, but this one has got 22, you can mix it together like that and get a full 318.22 would be the whole mix then, I assume. Then it's got some sulfur in, and sulfur is really good for making terpenes and shit. That's what brings out a lot of the flavor, apparently. So yeah, you definitely want some sulfur in there. Then gypsum. You want to talk about gypsum, Margaret?
Yeah, now that one's got a 000 rating, I guess, if you will, of MPK,
Yeah.
and you're going to use 1 to 2 cups per 100 liters of soil, and that's to
Mhm.
add calcium and sulfur without altering the pH
Yeah.
of your soil.
And it's crazy because this calcium sulfate, this gypsum stuff, this is plaster of Paris. You know that stuff?
Yeah,
That's all it is.
I mean, yeah.
It's fucking crazy. I didn't know that till I started growing mushrooms. It's
Oh,
like, add
really?
some gypsum. It's like, what's this gypsum? How do I find gypsum? I was like, just use plaster Paris. And what are you talking about? You know, just go buy a big bag of plaster. Jesus. And just make sure that it's calcium sulfate and you're good. You know, but
Yeah.
you're only going to use a little bit in here, as Margaret said. They're just 1 to 2 cups for every 100 liters. So again, 6 to 12 cups in total if you got this big raised soil bed. You know, it's just crazy how you know it's just used for drywall. Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to add calcium to your soil, which you got to do at some point, just some gypsum will do nicely. It's not going to fuck with the pH, you know, that's fucking nice. Wood ash, which is obviously wood that's been turned into ash. And that's a 0, 1, 3 to 7. So this is depending on what kind of wood you use and how much it's been burned and shit like that. So not exactly accurate when it comes to the NPK ratio. So and you're going to use very sparingly here, just 1 cup for every 100 liters. So you don't want to use too much of it. And it's got a high
could be from,
pH.
like-
Sorry, Margaret?
That could be from like your fire pit or your
Yeah. As long as
charcoal
you
barbecue or what.
as long as you use just wood, you know, and any treated one or anything like that, which might have heavy metals left over and things like that, I wouldn't use that. It's got to
Right.
be, you know, nice clean wood. You know, it's got a high pH, so you got to be cautious when you're using it. You don't want to over apply it and ruin the pH of your soil. So bear that in mind as well. But if you wanted to raise the pH of your soil, then wood ash is a good option. You know. Then the compost, the homemade one. You want to talk about the compost there, Margaret?
Yeah. So the NPK is obviously going to vary on that with a lot of factors, like how you made it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to use 5 to 10 centimeters as a top layer, and this is going to boost your microbial life and organic matter.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then one more, just green manure. What the fuck is green manure? Plant shit?
I guess so. Like manure that came out of a vegetarian animal.
Yeah.
The
Did you hear that one? Did you see that meme before? Where the guy, random tangent, when the guy gave his friend a burger, he's like, oh, look, you want a burger? He's like, no, I'm a vegan. He's like, yeah, this is called, it's vegan meat. He's like, oh, cool, yeah, okay, then I'll eat it. And he's eating it. He's like, oh, this burger's so fucking good. Are you sure this is vegan meat? He's like, yeah, it's vegan meat. Vegan meat. It's made from cow. He's like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, it's vegan. The cow was vegan. The cow only ate grass.
Right.
It's vegan meat, right? Yeah. So the vegan person wasn't very happy. But that's what I'm thinking here when it says green manure. Anyway.
Yeah.
Random tangent. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
And you're going to is grown and chopped into bed.
Right.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah, just like sprinkled on the top. Mm-hmm.
And this is to fix nitrogen and provide organic matter as it breaks down.
All right. So I think they're talking like a cover crop kind of thing here.
Yeah.
Where like you grow the clovers in your raised bed, like over the top where the plant's growing as well, but the clovers ain't going to grow too big, and that brings nitrogen back into the soil. So that's what some plants do. Some plants improve the amount of phosphorus and potassium in the soil as well, depending on what you're growing. You know, it takes it out of the air and puts it into the soil. It can do things like that. So these different companion crops. Yeah. And then you just chop it down and let it break down. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's so many fucking things there that you can use. So many. This is where it gets complicated for me, you know. This is why I don't go full on with this shit, because it just seems with all of these different things, all these different... When I go to the shop and I buy can of A or can of B, it tells me what the NPK is, and then I can just mix it up accordingly. You know, that's what makes it easy. But when you learn this stuff, and when you get used to it, you know, when you get the numbers in, when you figure out what food you're using, you've done it a few times, it's just going to be easy as fuck. But them initial steps, it's a little bit dodgy, you know. Takes a little bit of time to get used to, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. But I think you just have to pick out a couple and see. The top dressing in some ways does seem easier. Just to top dress your soil.
Yeah.
But
yeah, with some wort castings or some compost tea, actually does the job so easily. You know, it's have loads of good shit in there, so you don't need to mess around with all this stuff too much. But of course, you can if you want to. You know, if your soil is missing a specific thing, if you feel like your plants are in a consistent state of nitrogen deficiency, then maybe add something that's got a lot of nitrogen in it, you know? We'll plant some clovers. and that might fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's like a whole chart of different things that you can try.
Yeah, so many things as well, but easy to do and completely natural.
Right.
You know, it's like any of this stuff you're getting is not going to cost much money, and you can even make most of it yourself. You know, making rabbit manure, if you got rabbits, if you got chickens, then that manure's for free, isn't it? You might as well do something with that shit.
Yeah.
Shame you can't do something with dog shit, because I've got so much dog shit. But,
Yeah, I know.
you
But
know, what can you do? It's because dog shit has got meat in it or something. So
yeah,
it's got
yeah,
different pathogens in than
yeah,
like rabbits or chickens. Weird.
yeah. That's exactly why. Same as why they use cow manure on farmers' fields and not, I don't know, people manure.
Yeah.
People.
Well, unless you're in Korea, North Korea, that is dodgy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's why. There's that one tangent again. There's that one. That was that one North Korean soldier that managed to what's the word? What's the word?
Escape?
No, there's a specific defect is what they call it. They
Oh,
don't call it escape. He defected from
right.
North Korea, and they operated on him because he got shot or something. I can't remember specifically, but they operated on him, and inside his intestines were just loads of worms, man. Which is
Oh,
because they just use human feces to fertilize their soil to help grow shit in there. Ugh.
ugh, that's
Yeah,
incorrect.
yeah, savage,
Yeah.
savage. Yeah, so don't use that kind of poop. And that's where they're saying bullshit comes from, because when you're using shit to fertilize your soil, you want specifically dairy cows, female dairy cows. And people would often sell bags of bullshit rather than cow
Oh,
shit.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know
it'd be
that.
very similar, but they wouldn't have the same nutrient value.
Right.
Yeah, so that's bullshit, man. You know?
Oh, I didn't know that was where that phrase came from, or
Yeah.
that's really neat, interesting.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We'll
right.
go with that for now.
Sounds fitting. Sounds all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then letting the cat out the bag, you know that one? It's let the cat out the bag, because people would sell small animals in bags when they went to market. But you
Yeah.
wouldn't get to look in the bag. You just buy it assuming it was a pig. And then you'll get home and it wasn't a pig, it was a fucking cat. And, you know, so
Oh,
if the cat got let out too early and people found out there was a cat instead of a pig, then they let the cat out the bag. You know, that's where
great.
that goes from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Raining Cats and Dogs, you know that one? Last one. Raining Cats and Dogs is from where people had thatched
roofs?
roofs. Thatched roofs.
Or thatched
Yeah.
roofs, yeah.
Thatched
Keep
roofs.
going.
Yeah.
Because
Chad
they would like,
Westport said, "What's up, Chad?" He said, "I'm skeptical of Macky." Good. You should be. Yeah. But yeah, and then when it rained too much, the cats and the dogs would fall through the thatched roof and land in the house.
right.
So it was
Yeah.
raining cats and dogs. Yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. So yeah, with this top dressing thing, you don't just want to fucking sprinkle a whole box on top of things, you know? just sprinkle a little bit and water it in and then wait for a bit, you know? It's better to underfeed than overfeed. It's much easier to fix an underfed plant than it is to fix an overfed plant. You know, imagine having a whole raised bed of soil that just has far too much of something in it. It's going to take a long time to fix that, man. So just go sparingly. Yeah. Top dressing layers. Apply dry amendments evenly and cover lightly with mulch or worm castings to prevent nutrient loss and encourage microbial activity. Yeah, so just keep some compost around. Just keep, yeah, and then when you top dress stuff, just sprinkle some over the top. You know, and then water it in. Always water well after applying top dressings to help nutrients begin breaking down into bioavailable forms. I found this was a problem sometimes when I was growing organically. I'd sprinkle a handful of fish blood and bone and then I'd water it. And it doesn't sink in very well sometimes. It's not like it instantly dissolves into the water and then goes in. And it kind of makes like a crusty bit on the surface sometimes. And if it dries out, then it's hard to water again after that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you come across that before, Margaret?
No.
Yeah, it's something to be, you know, just water slowly. Yeah, and of course, then just monitor the plants and see what the response is. It can take a while, you know, because these nutrients have got to go into the soil, get broken down by the bacteria, and then become plant available, you know, and that can take a week or two, sometimes 3, depending on what it is. So you won't see any instant reactions. This is where you got to be able to try and be preemptive with this shit. predict what's going to come up in a week or two, and make sure you've added those nutrients beforehand, so you never see the deficiency in the first place. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Is blood pudding an amendment? No, you eat that shit. Mm-mm. They call it blood sausage, right? In States, blood sausage. It's black pudding.
I think
No,
so.
black pudding. You have black pudding, Margaret?
I've had it before, yeah.
Yeah, fucking love that shit.
Haven't had it in a
Mm-mm.
while, but it is good. I do like it.
Yeah, that's right. I gave some to my boy before, and he's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "It's black pudding." It's like, "What is it?" I'm like, "It's black pudding." Yeah, but what is it? You know, he wants to know what's in it. Well, I'm not telling you. Eat some first, and then he
You
ate it.
just
It's
tell
like,
them everything but the blood.
that's right. Yeah, it's some
Pork,
oats,
something.
something from pig. I'm not sure.
Yeah, some oats,
but
some spices.
Delicious. They got this real good one in Aldi near me. A special black pudding. Delicious. Oh my god, so good, so fucking good. And just get that, just fry up a little piece of that. My gosh, me and my dog sit there, we'll eat a whole fucking bunch of that together. It's like a family meal. But yeah, anyway. Damn. But yeah, get that shit. It's good. But yeah, and then I told my boy after he's had some, he's like, "Yeah, that's good." I'm like, "Yeah, it's got blood in it." And then he pretends like he didn't like it. Yeah, whatever.
But he did.
Well,
Yeah.
delicious. Delicious. Anyway, so that's all the shit you can add to top dress your soil there and keep it fed and make some homemade nutrients for your cannabis plants. You don't have to go to the grow shop and keep making this shit. You know, and if you're growing in these organic raised beds in this living soil, this horizontal raised bed, this is how you want to be feeding it, keeping it all natural. You know, and there's a little bit of a learning curve there. You know, there's a lot of different things you have to try and remember, but find different things that you think are going to work with them, get used to it, and it just becomes all easy after that. Follow Chris Trump on YouTube and Instagram, and also follow Microbes by Marco. You know, that guy knows his shit, and he's always happy to help as well. If you have any questions, then just drop him an inbox, or, you know, comment on one of his statuses or posts or reels or feeds, whatever they call it on whatever network. You know, then yeah, just ask him, and he's always happy to help, man. The guy's got a lot of knowledge, so check that out, and check out the interviews that we've done with Marco and Chris Trump as well, because we have all of this information, and it goes into so much detail about it. Check out those interviews as well. But I think that's everything for the guides, right? Anything to add, Margaret?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. We do have a couple of listener mail questions, so we'll get to those quickly. Let's do it. From Oso, we missed this one from last week, and it's just a simple question, really. When lollipopping, how many nodes do you like to leave on each branch? Do you think leaving 2 top nodes is sufficient? Yeah, I mean 2 to 3 is the standard rule. Do you do any lollipopping on your plants, Margaret?
Yeah, sometimes a little bit, but
How
yeah,
many nodes
not a
do you
lot.
leave from the top? Do you know?
I don't know if I really know what he means by this question. What do you mean by nodes?
Well, you know where the leaves grow off from the stems?
Yeah.
Each one of those is a node, and if you
Oh.
sometimes if you've got a really long branch, then it's going to have 5, 6 nodes on it, and you don't really want the bottom ones staying there, because that's just going to produce popcorn buds when you want the energy being focused to the top
Yeah.
of the plant. So it depending on how close they are together, all right? Because sometimes you can get nodes that are all packed up close together. Sometimes there's an inch or 2 in between each one, and you don't want that, because essentially then there's going to be flowers growing from each one of the nodes. Like 2 flowers on each node will grow, and they hopefully merge into a nice bud. They form together, you know. So if they're too far apart, it's not going to connect as well as you want it to. But if it's
Right.
if they're too close together, then I don't know, maybe I don't know, they'll be fine really. If they're too close together, then it's just going to produce fat buds. So it depends, man. It depends on what the plant looks like, but the general rule of thumb is 2 or 3. You don't want to go 4 or 5. You know, anything more than 3, then get rid of it. But yeah, look at the canopy of your growth there and see just what's below a certain level. It's easy when you got a screen of green up, because, you know, anything above the screen stays, anything below goes. So it's nice and simple. But if you're just doing some lollipopping and you don't have something something guiding you like that, yeah, then it can be a little bit more difficult. But I say 3rd node if they're all compact together. If they're massively distant from each other, then 2 is plenty as well. You know, mission mission trying to figure out, and it can take such a long time. So you can be there for 4 or 5 hours sometimes, just taking so much off your plant, and you look down, 2/3 of your plant is just in a pile on the floor, and you just got this little bit left at the top. Looks like a teenager's haircut, fucking
Right.
crazy. But yeah, 2 nodes is sufficient. You can do it with 2 nodes. 3 nodes is good as well. Yeah, man. So if you need any more details about that, also, if you want to go to more, then take a picture of the plant in question, and we'll be able to tell you that, just do 3 or do 2, whichever's best. Yeah. So anything to add on that one, Margaret?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of it myself. I'm hoping this summer's going to be like, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, but I'm hoping this summer's going to be the summer for my
Yes.
weed.
The summer.
Yeah.
This question did carry on here as well. I didn't see that. It was on a new page. And with such heavy defoliation, do you think it would be better to gradually trim the legs off each branch throughout flower, or just take them all at the same time after the stretch? Take them all at the same time after the stretch. Once the flowering begins, don't do any trimming. That's how I like to do it. Because you don't want it focusing any energy on having to heal different parts of the plant when it's had shit removed. It needs to focus 100% of its energy into making buds when it gets into flower. So any kind of breakages and shit like that, you just want to try and avoid them altogether. You want all of the energy you can focused into making them buds and them terpenes and them trichomes. Just pushing that out. That's what they want. If you're doing a trim every few days, it's constantly trying to fix things. So it's directing energy from making bud into fixing itself. You don't want that. So the best thing to do, wait till stretch is over and make sure the flowers are properly forming. And you want to make sure stretch is done, because if you do it too soon, then stretch is going to carry on and it's going to stretch ridiculous. So be careful of that. It's better to be a little bit over. Make sure them pom-poms are actually growing before you start doing that big lollipop. And then just take 2/3 of the bottom of the plant off, man. Whichever isn't going to get a good amount of light, take it off. 2 or 3 nodes from the top of the stem. Nice and easy. Just takes fucking ages. Yeah, so there we go. I hope that answers your question there also. But then we have one more question here. Nice, simple one as well from Cannabis. Is topping just bro science? What do you think of that, Margaret?
I've never gotten the sense that topping is bro science, but
It's
is
definitely... No, I don't think it is. Because
okay.
it's not just the cannabis plant that gets topped. This happens in vineries and shit, in vineyards when they're growing grapes, and it works with certain types of trees in orchards and things like that. And essentially what's happening is when you remove the top, it's a hormone is released into the plant that essentially tells the rest of the plant, we've lost the main head, direct more energy into side shoots. I don't know what
Right.
language they speak in, but that's what they're telling the plant itself. And that just helps the side branches grow up a little bit faster. Stops it from growing just randomly tall. And as I say, it's not just cannabis that does it. There's lots of different plants that benefit from topping. Now, if you top in more than once, I think that's a bit bro sciencey, because once you've topped it once, once you've taken the main top off, then the hormone's been released. The message has been sent. So I don't really think topping any more than that. When you just top any more than that, you're taking what could be big buds and splitting them in half. That's all, which could be good. If you got a really dense plant and you want to try and keep smaller buds because you don't want to risk bud rot by having just a shitload of big ones, then maybe topping a few branches to reduce the size of the buds at the end is going to make a difference as well. But topping is definitely not bro science, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Does that make it bro science? What did you say? In my opinion, I don't know, man. But yeah, that's right. And so top your plant when you're growing indoors. I recommend topping just once. Even outdoors, just top just once, just to get that hormone released. But it's less needed outdoors because the plant can get loads of light. It's getting plenty of light from the sun. But when you're topping indoors, it's because the light is only gonna get a certain. The further away it gets from the actual light itself, the weaker the light is. This inverse square law. By the further you get, the less light it's getting, the less power it's getting. So you want to be as close as possible, so that you don't want a big tall plant where the top of it's right next to the light and the bottom of it is 5 feet away. That's just gonna be unhappy. You know, the plant won't be happy with that. You want to spread it across even canopy as much as possible. So topping and training to get that even canopy, so you get the best light penetration possible. That's the way to do it, man. So yeah, definitely top, bro. Definitely top. Yeah. There we go. I hope that helps. We got a whole episode on topping as well. So if you want to know more about that, just go and check that episode out as well. It's like episode 6 or 7 or something, I think. Yeah, topping and LST. Yeah, man. So check that out. Anything to add on that one, Margaret? You say you're going to top yours. Do you top yours outside?
Well, I was going to ask you, do you need to? Is there, like, I guess you still could because of this, for the same reasons.
Yeah, yeah. Just for the hormone thing. Just top it once.
Yeah.
I would top it once when it gets like 5-6 nodes high outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be fine if you just left it as well, I reckon. But you'll be left with like more likely to have just one huge cola rather than many decent sized colas, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Pros and cons. I mean, I have 4, so I could always experiment too.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I always top. There's been one time, you know, in the whole time I've been growing, there's been one plant that I didn't top, and that was accidental, and that ended up shit. It was one of my worst plants ever. Just because I didn't fucking top it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was other reasons. Maybe I didn't take much care of it as I should have. But yeah, it felt like that. The not topping it was definitely an issue. Yeah, so top your plants, man. It's just a quick squeeze of that fucking branch there. Take it off. Nice and easy. But I think that's everything. Are we done here, Margaret? You got anything to add?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Everything covered there. Of course, we can't be experts on everything, and can't be experts on KNF and things like that. And those experts are easy to find on the internet. As I said, we've got Chris Trump and Microbes by Marco as well. Marco Thomas, both been on the show many, many times, and they know their shit about this KNF kind of thing. So get on it, man, and go and check out their pages. Yeah. And yeah, good luck. And if you have any questions, there are people over the forum who know this kind of shit as well. So just get over there, start a thread, and yeah, we'll get going. We'll help you out. So I think that's just about everything. And of course, any questions about anything, percysgrowroom.com. You know where to find us. Sounds good? I think we're done, Margaret. Should we go to the outro?
I think so.
Let's go to the outro. So there we go, everybody. That's this week's show. It's got a nice chilled episode there with just me and you, Margaret.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice for a change. Very chill.
For a change. Not like it is with that Billy around.
I didn't mean it like that. Don't tell Billy. Well, he was in the chat earlier, so he probably heard me say it, but that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
He's probably gone to bed now. He's probably gone to bed in the haunted house. He's staying in the haunted house tonight, Billy is.
Oh, is he?
Maybe. Yeah, somebody died in there a while ago.
Oh.
It's haunted. Fun. Haunted house, Billy. It's coming to get you, Barbara. Shit. Do you believe in ghosts, Margaret?
No.
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I say that now. If I'm really stoned, I might have a different answer.
Man, I don't. I'm a fucking weird guy, man, because I don't believe in ghosts at all. It's just like all sees bullshit. But like the last week or two, I've just been listening to loads of ghost stories and just random shit from like Sam and Colby and the Art Bell show, Ghost to Ghost. Fucking love all those scary ghost stories and shit. But yeah, I don't believe in any of them. You know, but I'll be there listening, and there's noise. I'll be like, "What's that noise?" Of course, it's not a ghost. Because ghosts are fucking real. Shit. But it's man. Some of the stories you hear from people. I was hearing Joey Diaz and who's the other guy? Tony Hinchcliffe was talking the other day about some ghosts they saw at the comedy club, and I was like, how can they both see the same thing? But you know, I'm more skeptical than that. It's like that's what I think initially, and then it's like, oh, because you know they're full of shit. They just think they've seen that. Memory is flawed. It's broken. It's faulty.
Right.
So it's not like they really did see it. It's just like the stories evolved over time. That's all. So, but you know, still makes you think: are they real? And then the answer always comes up as, no. Don't be silly. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
know. What's this? Pig said in the chat, I heard the ghost of rubble falling down my living room wall cavity a few weeks ago. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
Random
so if you start
static.
hearing noises at night, that's when it's like,
Yeah, it could be anything. Could be anything.
it could be, but that's why I said when I'm really stoned, I'm more likely to be like, what was that?
Artman said there random static electricity in the air, shaped like me grandmother.
Well, that sounded a little ghost-like,
Yeah.
but
But you know, everybody's got cameras in their pockets now. Why don't we see more footage of ghosts?
there's probably a very reasonable explanation for that, Mackie, but I don't have
It's
I don't
because
know.
ghosts are not real, that's why.
Okay, there you go. There's the
Yeah.
reasonable explanation.
I bet
Yeah.
we start seeing a lot more ghost footage now. AI's here.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the way where that's going.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but if you have a good ghost story you'd like to share with us, everybody, then do tell us. You know, same thing with the Bermuda Triangle. You know, the Bermuda Triangle, even though it's got this reputation, it's had no more or less than the average amount of plane crashes anywhere else in the world.
Oh,
It's
really?
just, yeah, it's just normal. It was just hyped up one time.
Oh,
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah, that's right. Made a few movies out of it. Same with that Roswell shit. So, imagine if Roswell, because it's just probably bullshit, did it? Was it a weather balloon? Who knows? But how many millions, maybe even billions of tourist money have been poured into that small town in New Mexico just because of that one lie?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good for tourism.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
you know I could be here chatting shit all day. It's been a pleasure, as always, everybody. Yeah, if you have questions, find us over on percysgrowroom.com and all of that. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add. Yeah, just again, one more time. Follow Marco and Chris Trump over on Instagram and YouTube. You'll find loads of good information about this kind of shit over on their channels, and they really do know what they're talking about. So check them out. But that's it. Let's wave then, Margaret, and we'll see you next week for Full House, hopefully. We'll see you then.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.